NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV.
NTV Akawungeezi nkwaniriza nnyo munaffe gye baleko gyonna gy'otusizaako engalo olwaleero ng'obye n'amawulire mu lulimi Oluganda era katutandike n'ebikulu ebigalimu. Okujjula ebitannajja eyawasizza ow'emyaka 15 poliisi emukutte. Abakubazaala oba betting poliisi ebataddeko amateeka anaagaziimuula waakuwerebwa. Eryato ligudde mu mazzi e Zanzibar abantu 10 bandibanga bafu. N'empaka z'abavubuka hippos eyongeddemu amaanyi. Nkwaniriza nnyo nate nze Hatmana Lugwa Sekaya. Tutandise nago omusajja w'emyaka 35 akwatiddwa emitiyana lwakudda ku mwana ow'emyaka 15 gyokka n'amufuula mukyala we. Ekyennaku Ssedduvu Ttono akebeddwa n'asangibwa ng'alina n'akawuka akaleeta mukenenya.
Bulega ow'emyaka 35 nga mutuuze ku kyalo Kikuuta ekisangibwa mu ggombolola y'e Bulera emitiyana kati ali mu kuwera ennemba nagwakwezza mwana gwatuuse kuzaala n'amufuula mukyala we. Okumukwata yasangiddwa ng'agenze wa ssenga wa muwala bateese ku by'okuwoowa omuwala poliisi kwe kutemezebwako n'emugombamu obwala.
And he was arrested on a tip-off from the father from Kampala.
Abo benyini twali twogedde ngenda kikolako muwumula.
Poliisi egamba nti omusajja ono yakebereddwa omusaayi era ebyavuddemu ne biraga nti alina akawuka akaleeta mukenenya. Kyokka omusajja agamba nti abazadde lwa kumwefuulira baali bakkiriziganyizza bulungi.
Oluvannyuma lw'okubeera nti twali tukkiriziganyizza n'abazadde ate oluvannyuma beefuula.
Yessenga Lukiya Namuddu era nga kansala emitiyana agambibwa okufumbiza muwala we ew'omusajja ono tutegeezeddwa nti yadduse dda era nga poliisi eri mu kumuwenja.
Kibinnyo. Poliisi eriko amateeka amakakali geetadde ku bazannyi ba zzaala oba betting mu lufuutifuuti mu kaweefube w'okunyweza ebyokwerinda mu Kampala. Bano kati balina okutandika okukola okuva ku ssaawa 6 ez'emisana ne bakoma ku ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro awatali kusukkawo. Bo abaana abali wansi w'emyaka 18 bagobeddwa mu bifo bino. Omuduumizi wa poliisi mu Kampala Andrew Felix Kawesi asinkanye abakola omulimu guno enkya ya leero n'abategeeza ku mateeka gano amagya.
Poliisi erabudde abalina kampuni za sports betting oba ezazzaala okugoberera amateeka gano agateekeddwa ku muzannyo guno oba seekyo baakuggalwa. Akulira poliisi mu Kampala n'emirirwano Andrew Kawesa asisinkanye bannannyini kampuni zino enkya ya leero n'abategeeza ku ntegeka eno. Kati bano baakuggulawo ebifo byabwe ku ssaawa 6 ez'emisana ate baggalengawo ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro.
Naye olw'okuba nti entambula y'obudde mu nsi yonna ate nga games zino emizannyo gino gibeera wonna tukizudde nga tetusobola kukiteeka lwaggulu wokka kubanga abantu entambula y'obudde si y'emu.
Poliisi etegeezezza ng'abaana abali wansi w'emyaka 18 bwe batakkirizibwa kwenyiga mu muzannyo guno.
Ffe nga aba kampani eno tubadde tuteekawo enkola yonna esoboka embeera okugaana abaana abato okujja mu bifo byaffe okuzannyiramu emizannyo gyaffe. Kuba amateeka ga Uganda gali kiriya.
Ne ssente ezitandikirwako nazo zisaliddwawo.
N'ensimbi omuntu z'alina okutandikirako ku betinga sigamba nti n'alina ebitaane ebigenda okugula ekibiriiti yandibadde abitwala mu betting.
Kampuni zino era zirina okuba n'ebiwandiiko ebizikiriza okukola omulimu guno.
bw'oba olina license ya city council tukitegeeza nti oyinza okuteekawo sports betting nedda eba ya musolo naye nekuwa buyinza okukola business eyo nga ministry of finance yegiwa ng'eyita mu board eya national lottery.
N'ebifo ebikoleramu omulimu guno nabyo birambikiddwa.
Tusuubira nti obwo bwonna obuli ku nguudo mu kiosks bulabika tebulina na license. Ate buli atalina license tagenda kukkirizibwa kukola. Bw'aba bamuwa license ng'alina kioski ku luguudo tugenda kubaga nti naye ono yabalimba license mugisazeemu talina waakolera.
Nti bw'oba ng'olina license y'okukolera Kawempe toteeka kioski Nansana. Bw'oba ng'oyagala kugenda Nansana osaba license endala enakukkiriza okugenda Nansana.
Poliisi era etegeezezza nti wagenda kuteekebwako omutemwa gw'ensimbi omuntu gw'alina okuba nagwo okusobola okutandika omulimu guno. Ssente zino waba tekitegeezeddwa ddi lwe zinaasalibwawo. Serunyigo Abubakar, NTV Akawungeezi.
Okusinziira ku poliisi Tanzania, abantu 145 banunuddwa okuva mu Semayanja oluvannyuma lw'eryato lyabwe mwe babadde batambulira okubbira. Eryato eriyitibwa MV Kalama lyabaddeko abantu abasoba mu 205. Emirambo 31 olwaleero we buwungeeredde nga gizuuliddwa wabula nga kirowoozebwa nti abantu abali eyo mu 10 be bateekeddwa okuzuulibwa.
Abamu bagamba nti eryato lino lyabaddeko abantu 281. Ate abalala bagamba lyabaddeko abantu 205. Abantu bano babadde basabala okuva e Dar es Salaam okudda e Zanzibar. Ku lyato okwabaddeko abalambuzi abawera n'abaana. Amaato amalala 4 n'ennyonyi ekika kya helikopita, gavumenti ya Tanzania yabisindikiddewo okutandika okuyambako mu kununula abasimatuse. Eryato lino eryabbidde lye limu ku maato 2 agaagula okuva mu Amerika omwaka oguwedde. Lyabbidde nga wakayita eddakiika ntono nga lisimbudde okuva e Tanzania nga lyolekera ekizinga Chumbe eyo mu buziba bwa Indian Ocean. Ekyavuddeko embeera eno abakugu bakitadde ku mpewo n'amayengo eby'amaanyi ennyo.
Sote tushirikiane na kusimama pamoja katika tukio hili la msiba na maafa.
Mu Septemba wa 2011 abantu abasoba 200 bafiira ku MV Spice Islander nga nalyo lyali ligenda Zanzibar.
Eyo nga tuvuddeyo Mubende poliisi ewonyezza omusawo w'ekinnansi okugajambulwa abatuuze abamuteebereza okubaako kyamanyi ku nfa y'omu ku mutuuze munnaabwe. Omusajja mukulu ono atemera mu gy'obukulu nga 7 essabo lye lyokeddwa ne lisaanawo era abatuuze babadde balumbye n'amaka ge bagasaanyeewo naye poliisi ne baziyiza. Gwe balumiriza okuba nga yattibwa yasooka kuzimba mukono n'agenda ew'omuganga ono amuwe ku ddagala.
Musajja mukulu Area Serunjoji nabo mu maka ge babadde mu kutya oluvannyuma lw'abatuuze okweyiwa ewaabwe nga baagala kwokya nnyumba yaabwe. Bano basoose kwokya ssabo lya Serunjoji eryesudde akabanga katono okuva n'awaka. Bino bibadde ku kyalo kya Mbogo e Kasanda mu disitulikiti y'e Mubende. Okumpi n'ewa Serunjoji abantu babadde mu kukungubagira munnaabwe. Abatuuze balowooza nti eddagala Serunjoji lye yawa Nnaalongo Nnaluggwa kati omugenzi lye lyavuddeko okufa kwe. Okusinziira ku b'omu maka gano, omukyalo ono yeefumita engalo bwe yali akalakata ekyennyanja wiiki ewedde nti era awo omukono we gwava okuzimba.
Gwakomye muno okuzimba muno mwe gwakomye okuzimba. Ne kati tegunnatobola okugera weeguli bwe gutyo. Yabadde mbwa musizeeko mmumbwa ntunuka nsajja. Embeera ya Nnaalongo bwe yayongedde okwonooneka ne bitandika okuyitingana nti eddagala Serunjoji lye yamuwa lyeri bizadde. Era Nnaalongo olwafudde ne balumba essabo lye.
Naye ffe nga tetusobola kumukuba, tusobola kukola ki twagala akole eki?
Ani yamulada ng'amuwa eddagala? Bye bibuuzo bye tubuuza. Ogambe namulabye ng'amuwa eddagala. So tutuyinza kugamba muzeeyi ono yakoze eki? Eyasooli. Naye ku bw'embeera ze embi oba emize gye gimwogedde, luusi muyinza kuba timwagala wano abasaabaga. Era tumugambe afune abantu be agende abeereyo. Si ekyo kimwagala?
Tibaagala musawo muganda kubanga nze ndiko omusawo taata.
Omuvubuka omu akwatiddwa yambeko poliisi mu kubuuliriza ku balala abatwalidde amateeka mu ngalo ne bookya essabo ly'omuzeeyi ono.
Aliwo bibaloga ettalo.
Eyo ye NTV Akawungeezi. Tukyali naffenna tovaawo nkomawo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri nga mulimu amawulire amalala mangi. Komya obunyomi bakansala ba KCCA Musisi bamuwadde sabbiiti ejja.
Omuntu mu kisiibo oteekwa okweyisa obulungi. Omwezi
omutukuvu ogwa Ramadan abakugu bawadde abasiraamu amagezi ku bye basaanye okwettanira.
This is NTV.
Collaborate and listen. I sit back.
Oh, give me hope, Joanna. Joanna, give me hope, Joanna, for the morning come. Give me hope.
With different colors, different colors.
Know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Atele long tugenda katongole mbukasam.
Kampala bwerere wansomo the bus. The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulina okugumira challenges ezimu gwe tuba tulina okugoba abatembeeyi mwami lukwaga agumanga abatembeeyi mugende mbadde ngala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya lukwago ye meya omutuufu.
Gavumenti ekutte lukwago emunyigira mu nsonga takyekyusa.
Welcome back to Minibus. Kyogereko
singa omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente wabula afa ku mbeera yeyisa
alimba ono
This is Minibus. Kyogereko.
Kwera embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama.
Bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale.
Sogera byange kibanza bana bagamba nga bweyagala nkubulira ebyange jja tugende emyanzi.
Mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinnansi e South Africa baba bakujerega obituufu
baba banjerega.
Oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo.
Omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzannyirangako abeera nga dormant volcano.
Bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita
ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi tolowooza ndi buli mulimo oyogerera omusiraamu senga nakubuuza nti Katonda yagamba atya.
Oba oli pasita ng'okyawa olimba obba oyenda olina abakazi basatu. Please, heaven is waiting for you'll pay and soon your time is out.
Otiisa mmoni
sitiisa nkubuulira Yesu talimba
ebintu mbimala mulundi gumu kati what I love peace.
Gwokola byo
wegase n'omusajja mutwale mabi.
Fieldwork has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction
takes place, it involves two things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
Every day at 4. Try out your favorite dance strokes. Watch the latest music videos from artists around the world as you.
Okyali ku NTV Akawungeezi, kino kye kitundu kyaffe ekyokubiri. Lord Mayor wa Kampala olwaleero avuddeyo n'alabula Nankulu w'ekibuga Jennifer Musisi okukomya omuze gw'okuyisanga amaaso mu lukiiko lwa KCCA. Lukwago agamba nti obugumiikiriza bumuweddeko mbu era singa Musisi agenda mu maaso n'okweyisanga bw'akola omuli n'okwebalamanga enkiiko z'abayise okuteesa ku nsonga z'ekibuga Kampala si wa kulonzalonza wabula okusala amagezi amalala okulaba ng'ensonga zino ziva mu ddiiro.
To Monday, to Wednesday 25th at 10 with a directive to the ED to be here to cause the minutes to be recorded. Thank you.
N'olwaleero olukiiko lwa KCCA olw'enjawulo olwayitidde Lord Mayor wa Kampala Erias Lukwago olugudde obutaka omulundi ogwokubiri ssabbiiti eno. Kino kiddiridde akolankalani wa KCCA Mwami Kamoga Nankulu wa Kampala Jennifer Musisi wamu ne badirekita ba KCCA abalala obutalabikako mu lukiiko luno. Olukiiko lwali terusobola kugenda mu maaso kakalani tali okuwanika biteeseddwako oba executive director okulaba nga babaawo akola omulimu ogwo. Kino kijja bakansala mu mbeera era bamu katuna ebifuba byabugume.
Guli omwaka gwagenda abantu bali mu ntalo guno gwennyini gutandise bali mu ntalo nze mpulira nga natumibwa abantu okujja okuweereza naye amaanyi gonna gendeeta wano n'ebiteeso byendeeta okubeera nga biri awo bwe bityo.
Kyeraze lwatu Madam Jennifer Samakula Musisi tayagala kukolera mu kye bayita authority. Kooti emulagidde jangu tutuule mu lukiiko ensonga n'anyooma. Kooti emulagidde gulawo district office za district board n'anyooma.
Kese act erimu ebituli bingi era nga tebana bakugitereeza simanyi nti embeera enaatereera.
Bakansala basazeewo olukiiko olulala lutule ku lwokusatu lwa ssabbiiti ejja nga 25 omwezi guno era mukyala Jennifer Musisi asabiddwa ku mulundi ogwo obutebulankanya.
Siriredde kulwongerayo era nti tumulinda jje. Kolo bw'ataalabikeko nga 25 then ataawo tulyoke tusala amagezi amalala.
Olukiiko luno obadde lugendereddwamu okulambika enzirukanya y'emirimu mu KCCA nga kino kyaddirira kkooti okuba amagezi ku musango Lord Mayor gwe yawaaba ku buvunaanyizibwa bwa buli muntu mu KCCA era ne bawa amagezi ensonga zino bazimalire mu lukiiko lwabwe.
Abantu bangi mu biseera by'ekisiibo nga kino ekinaatera okutandika basiiba banafu n'abamu okusumagira oba okwebakira ddala. Omusawo omukugu mu byendya gwe twogeddeko naye atukakasiza nti omuntu bw'alya emmere entuufu era egendera ku mbeera ko n'ekikula ky'omubiri gwe asobolera ddala bulungi okuyita mu kisiibo nga tafunye buzibu bwonna.
Kituufu abantu abasinga betwogeddeko nabo ekyokutandikira ku mazzi nga batandika okusiibulukuka bakimanyi bulungi kyokka emmere eddirira oluvannyuma lw'okunywa amazzi yandibaleetera obuzibu okusinziira ku bakugu mu byokulya.
Futaali atera kubeera muwogo ng'alimu oba ebinyeebwa futaali anyuma nnyo nga ddala muwogo.
Ng'oggyeko abantu abamu okulya emmere nga nnyingi nga basiibulukuka abasinga balya emmere nga ngumu ezibuwalira ebyenda okugisunsula obulungi. Emmere y'engano gamba ng'emigaati ne chapati wadde abasiibi batera okujagala nti yeekwata mu lubuto. Dr. Ismail Tamala agamba yandibadde yeegenderezebwa nnyo.
Olubuto lulina kapasite kiringa ekyuma kya kasooli bwe kiba kikuba ensaawa emu buli ssaawa emu bwe noyagala oteekemu ensaawa 6 mu ssaawa emu tekigenda kukola bulungi ne body system bweri teyagala kubeera overloaded. Tosobola nti ogenda kuloadinga ebintu byonna olwokuba tewali lunakuna byonna obikkate muki mu lubuto then ogenda kufuna digestive disorder ogenda kufuna obuzibu mu lubuto ogenda kufuna okugulumba ogenda kufuna okukola ogenda kufuna obuzibu bungi. Tosobola nti omuntu omu amala okusiibuluka n'agweri kitegeera mufo kyogenda okukola ibaada mufo kyogenda okusaala mufo kyogenda okusala byonna n'abivaako.
okunywa amazzi agawerera ddala mu kiseera ky'okusiibulukuka kyonna kikulu nnyo kubanga gayambako olubuto obuteesiba n'okufulumya emmere eyinza okufuuka ey'obulabe singa erwa mu lubuto
kubanga ekibaleetera era ekiva mu kulya chapati mu kulya emigaati n'okunywa amata embuto kwesiba nosanga omuntu asiibye olunaku lwonna tasobodde kugenda mu kabuyonjo n'alinda olwekya ebintu birwamu bivunda bitandika okukola obutwa atandika okubeera n'omutwe asiiba omutwe gumuluma ali awo amaaso gonna gamyuse
mu kiseera kino ekyokusiiba abantu abamu enkola y'emirimu etera okukendeera olw'okulumwa ennyo oba okunafuwa ennyo kyokka Tamala agamba nti omuntu bw'alya emmere ey'ekigero ekimala neyeewala emmere ekaluubiriza ebyenda okugikolako tatera kusanga buzibu buno abakkiriza era bakubiriziddwa okujjukira ekigendererwa ky'ekisiibo nga batuukiriza obulungi bwonna nga bwe kiragirwa. Irene Namyalo, NTV Akawungeezi.
Poliisi wano mu Kampala etegezezza nti abasajja 3 abasangiddwa mu nsiko ebbanda olunaku lw'eggulo nga basuuliddwawo bamenyi b'amateeka. Omu ku basajja bano yasangiddwa ng'afudde ate abalala poliisi yabatutte mu ddwaliro e Mulago ng'embeera yaabwe mbi ddala. Poliisi egamba nti abasajja bano erina fayiro zaabwe eziraga nga bwe bazze beenyigira mu bumenyi bw'amateeka obw'enjawulo era nga kati erinda bakube ku matu etandika okubabuuza akaana n'akataano. Poliisi eteebereza nti ne ku mulundi guno bandibanga babadde bagenze kubba ne babakubirayo era bwe basimattuse kwe kwekwekako wano we basangiddwa.
Okunoonyereza ku kikolo eky'abantu 3 abasangiddwa mu bitundu by'ebbanda nga bakubiddwa n'omulala nga afudde kugenda mu maaso. Ababiri tufunye amawulire okuva mu ddwaliro nti bagenda batereramu. Kyetuzudde nti abantu bano balina rekodi emabega waabwe ey'obumenyi bw'amateeka bayinza okuba nga balina we balumbye okukola ebikolobero eby'obumenyi bw'amateeka omuntu n'abakosa n'oluvannyuma ne badduka ne bajja okwekweka mu kifo we basangiddwa nga ekyaviiriddeko munnaabwe okufa nga tuteebereza nti oli ayinza okuba yavuddemu omusaayi mungi ate bamaze ebbanga ddene nga tebalidde ekiyinza okuba nga kyekyamuviriddeko okufa na bana ababiri okugwamu amaanyi nga bwe basangiddwa.
NTV Akawungeezi akadde kakutunulako mu katale k'ensimbi.
Akatale k'ensimbi kakutuusibwako.
This is NTV.
Ako kabadde katale kansimbi. Tovaawo kantukeke wakitunze gombo oluvannyuma nkonoona.
This is NTV.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Ate leero tugenda Katongole Mbukasam.
Kampala bwerere mwansomo the bus. The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulina okugumira challenges ezimu gwe tuba tulina okugoba abatembeeyi mwami lukwaga agumaga abatembeeyi mugende mbadde ngala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya lukwago ye meya omutuufu.
Gavumenti ekutte lukwago emunyigira mu nsonga takyekyusa.
Welcome back to Minibus. Kyogereko
teko omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente wabula afa ku mbeera yeeyisa
alimba ono
This is Minibus.
NTV Akawungeezi n'amawulire agava mu nsiike y'ebyemizannyo. Ttiimu ya Uganda ey'abali wansi w'emyaka 2 Hippos etegeezezza nga bwemanyi obulungi ebikwatagana ne ttiimu gye bagenda okuzannya nayo eya Black Satellites ng'eno ya ggwanga lya Ghana. Bano bagenda kuttunka mu kikopo ky'okusunsulamu ekyaba musaayi muto ku ssemazinga wa Africa mu Kampala sabbiiti ejja. Ttiimu ya Hippos kati eri mu kuweebwa bukodyo obunaagisobozesa okuyita ku basajja ba Ghana bano.
Timu ya musaayi muto ya Hippos eri mu kweteeka okwakasa mmemme nga yeteekera timu ya Black Satellite okuva e Ghana mu luzannya olw'omulundi ogwokubiri lw'ekikopo ky'abavubuka ku ssemazinga wa Africa. Bamusaayi muto bano olwaleero baliko obukodyo bwe baweereddwa mu kutendekebwa okw'enjawulo wali ku kisaawe Lugogo.
Tukimanyi nti Ghana y'amaanyi era aliko champions ya World Cup na Africa Cup, so tugiwa respect. So tugenda kukosa akakodyo ka kulumba naye tetulumba kwemalayo, tulina okulumba nga tuleka mu kuba banza otuzza difense tunza gireka nga nkalu.
Wabula mu kutendekebwa kuno abazanyi Joseph Ochaya ne Khalid Auchu abalina obuvune tabaddeewo. Final y'empaka za musaayi muto bano abali wansi w'emyaka 20 yakuzannyibwa mu ggwanga lya Algeria omwaka ogujja.
Agomunaffe ge tusobodde okujjira mu nsiike y'ebyemizannyo. NTV Akawungeezi bwetyo bwegenze. Tovaawo bingi birungi ebijja maaso, waliyo amawulire mu lulimi Olungereza ku ssaawa 3 nga bulijjo. Nze Hatimana Lugwa Sekaya, musule bulungi, temuva ku NTV, mweraba.
This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV. NTV.
Tuwaye kwaniriza nnyo webale kutwegattako nze Frank Alisimbi. Now, do not think the week was wacky. Otherwise, this could even be more wacky. I tell you, ebintu bitambula bulungi. Weewaawo awamu bitambula bubi naye nzikiriza nti mu mbeera yonna tujja genda mu maaso. Katonda ajja kutulaba nga tubiyitamu. Olwaleero ku bench ninawo omusajja omu ku bannabyabufuzi kaŋŋambe bwe ntyo naye nga n'ebyafaayo abitegeera bulungi. Musajja mukulu ono ye yatandika ekibiina kya Conservative Party mu 1966. Olwaleero abakimanyi kikulirwa omusajja Ken Luchams kati member mu Parliament owa Lubaga South. Omusajja ono gwe nina olwaleero ye Ashe James Sekaja agenda kutubuulira olugendo lw'ebyobufuzi nga bwe yalukwata okuva lwegattako mu 1959. Olwaleero gwe nina nkwaniriza nnyo Sevu.
Nange bwentesemesa okukusanga.
Webale kujja.
Bale kunyaniriza.
Emirimu gigenda gitya?
Gitambula bwe gityo.
Banyumizanga Sekaja nga ndowooza oba omusajja ono afaanana atya. Olina emyaka emeka?
Kaakati ngenda mu myaka 8.
Ddala? Togirabika omuntu wakulaga muzeeyo
kulya bulungi.
Ali mu myaka nga 6.
Anti ndi akawunga kattamuna ne mukene. Anti betwasigaza kati okulya. Empuuta kati tulyamu magumba. Tulengera nnengere.
Bigenda bitya?
Bitambula bulungi.
Owaye tubuulire Conservative Party walole mwali mukayana ne Ken Luchams.
Yesebo.
Ani yatandika Conservative Party? Sibanga abantu mbagambye bichamu.
Nze ntandika dda Conservative Party. Kenaku z'omwezi 3 January 1966.
3 January.
Yes, 1966.
Tuli myaka emeka olukati.
Kaakati gye nali mpeza mu kiseera ekyo. Toziba nalinanga obanga 2 awo ndowooza. Banga 2 kuba nayingira ebyobufuzi nga akyali muto. Naye olw'okuba nti
kiki ebbugumu olijjawo?
Ebbugumu nti waliwo abataka waliwo makadde bange jjajjange James Kiwanuka eyazaalanga maama mu kiteeti kaawo. Abataka be bakuŋŋaaniranga babbu mwabawulirako bataka bbu.
Waliwo nga weebali?
Naliwo nga weebali.
Ng'ondabyeko ebintu.
Ne wajjajjange awo. Ne namba 8 era nga mbiraba wendi. Otegedde kuba abantu banyiga nnyo nga baagala okwefuga, baagala okutunda pamba waabwe, abalimi kutunda emmwanyi nga bakooya abazungu n'abayindi okubabba.
Omanyi tugenda mu meefuga?
Emyaka 5.
Emyaka gigenda kuwera 50.
Esebo.
Abantu abato abali egwerwe abatulaba abasinga tebamanyi ddala kyaliwo transition ya Uganda. Kyukakyuka eyo yajja etya 62 naye byaliwo emabegaawo. Abantu bangamba baagala nnyo okubitegeera naye before CPN ogitandise nga wali muto bano abaliwo kye bava tebakulabawo
ekyava batandaba naye neera twabutamanya bwabwe kubanga nze kennyini nze abamu nze nabatuusa ne mbuyinza nga Lukyamuzi senga saalinze oyo Keni senga saalinze yandibadde tagira ki
kiki kye wakolawo ekyamaanyi
kaakati ekyamutandikawo CP kwegamba mu 19 mu 66 awo mu February awo Oweekitiibwa Dr. Milton Obote yali afuga Uganda mu kiseera ekyo nga ye Katikkiro yayagala okwera ekibaka yeke yali mu kiseera ekyo Kewaayi. Kaakati bw'agenda okwera Kewaayi olw'okubanga nze mbiseera bembekako mu mwaka gwa 59 nze omu ku basajja abaalwana okufuga kwa Uganda katulwanyisa Abangereza. Nali muvubuka nali nkyasoma na mu Lubiri kiseera ekyo nali Lubiri secondary school. Era nze omu ku batandika Lubiri mu 56 nze omu ku bamutandikirawo ddala Lubiri abayizi abaasookamu nze omu ku batandikirawo ddala gundi Lubiri secondary school. Kakati mu kiseera emabega kaawo katwagala ogoba Abangereza twalina munnaffe Augustine namukadde kamya bayitanga wombitooke
nawulira Nassa Sebagala
kati omusajja oyo omu ku baali beetamiddwa Abangereza. Kati omusajja oyo kyava agamba banne bano abasooka mu bibiina by'obufuzi abaali bakulu nga Musaazi yes Gonde Jole Joy Kiwanuka musajja Binayisa Godfrey Kongwa Binayisa Paulo Muwanga egamba Daudi Sekumakamya abasajja abayina abali batadde ebibiina by'obufuzi kwegamba n'abalala twegatte wamu tusobole okulwanyisa abazungu kubanga emabega eri abataka bajja ne bakola okugoba abayindi mu by'obusuubuzi noka nti Bungereza etera Uganda obwetwaze bwayo kakati babakwatanga ne babasiba ebyo ne bizikira otegedde
simanyi bavaayo mu makomera oluvannyuma
bavaayo mu makomera kakati oluvannyuma gundi Kamya yavaga nti bannange mujja tugire ki twegatte ebibiina tujja tuteeka ku bbali tumale okulwanyisa kino kyetwagala n'oluvannyuma tudda mu bibiina byaffe ebyobufuzi ye muzungu n'omuyindi kubanga ono omuyindi yali mwana wa Mungereza Omungereza yamuleeta yajjira ku mugugu akati yes mu kiseera ekyo Kamya n'ayita bali February 5 n'ayita ab'ebibiina by'obufuzi bonna kakati ne tugenda mu White Nile nze nva mu lubiri nali nkyasoma ow'ekibuye otegedde kati yes yali yamaanyi nnyo wabula kyannaku nnyo kola kati nga bagenda okugimenyawo
oyo 58 Kamya abakuma
kati fene tugenda netukuŋŋaana
olwo simanyi osoma
nga nkyasoma ndi buli
osoma bw'ojja ne mu bino
njja ne mu bino yetegedde kakati mu kiseera ekyo kyava agamba nti kakati bannange twagala tukole ekibiina kimu eky'amaanyi tulwanyisa Abangereza bano kubanga batumedde ku mugongo awo waliwo n'omwami omu bamitanga Kimbowa yali abeera mu Buyindi gyali asomedde n'akomawo kyavaga nti batwagala okugoba omuzungu tujja kuteeka boyikooti ku bintu byonna bikolebwa Abayindi n'ebintu byabwe n'amaduuka tugavire nga Gandhi
mwandiguzeewo olwo si be baali basinga
awo twali tugamba nti ebikisa jja kutuuka ebyo tubyeddize era ekyo kyakolebwa kakati abasajja ne tukuŋŋaana kutuusa lwe twanyoonya erinnya ly'ekibiina kituneegattiramu kakati Musaazi yali azze n'ekibiina kye Uganda National Congress kyekyali ekibiina kye kyeyagiramu yes omugenzi Eridadi Muliira najja Progressive Party kyekyali ekibiina kye najja n'abantu be kakati gundi Daudi Sekumakamya yali akulembera Uganda Labour Party kakati Godfrey Kongwa Binaayisa najja United National Party kyono kyali kyabannamateeka baloya era kyekyalimu negundi bwekitiibwa Joseph Mayanja Nkanji otegere ekyo ekyali ekibiina kye kyeyatandikawo mu nkaaga otegedde kakati mu kiseera ekyo netukola ekibiina kimu ekyakibanga Uganda National Movement ekiba kyamaanyi kakati Agafini Kamya nalonde bukola president gino w'ekibiina ekyo kakati Musaazi n'amumyuka twalina Paulo Muwanga n'abeera omuwandiisi omukulu w'ekibiina nange Sekajja ayogera naawe nze nali mumyuka we ndowooza nalina emyaka obanga 18 awo
bakulabyemu kiwali abo basajja baali
anti gundi Kamya twali tutambula ffenna ne tukola kampeni kola nti tuteeka okuteekawo
okwatira ensawo obanga
ayo oli muganda wange naye nga ewaddala ddala ate nekira nali nnyo nga njagala nnyo ebyamawulire kubaawo mu kiseera ekyo bwe twali walingawo Uganda eyogera Uganda empya
taifa yali esse
yafuuka bufuusa nti yali Uganda empya nefuuka taifa empya nga Agakani amaze okugigula omanyi kati lubadde olupapula lwa Agakani otegedde kakati mu kiseera ekyo gwe twalinawo Dr. Muwazi yali minisita
owandiika
yenga mpandiika
otambula ne Kamya bw'abyayogedde komawo kuba mukyapa
nga nkuba mukyapa yali w'amaanyi muganda wange akati Dr. Muwazi yali minisita mu gavumenti y'Emmengo nga wabyabulamu getwalanda okubeera omuwanika bagana abalala baali bangi nnyo betwali nabo abaalondebwa mu kiseera ekyo okukulembera ekibiina kya Uganda National Movement otegedde kakati nga tumaze okuteekateeka tutandise n'okutambula ebweru tukoze kampeyini mu Uganda yonna ne tukomawo
mutambula mutya olwo
tutambule mu mmotoka zaaliwo Kamya alina eyiye Ford Musaazi alina
banga temwavuganga motoka zino nkadde za
babasajja baalina omwoyo gw'eggwanga lyabwe akati mu kiseera kyo tumala okukomawo Ssekabaka Muteesa owookubiri n'atuyita n'ata mu musajja we Muwazi kubanga yali omuwanika waffe ate minisita ebyobulamu mu gavumenti ya Ssaabasajja Kabaka n'aga nti njagala mumpitire abantu abo bajje tumale okuteesaamu
aba national movement
Uganda National Movement kubanga ne Ssaabasajja yali amaze okukoma mu buwaŋŋangusi mu 1955 ate nga naye ekyamusibisa kwali okulwanirira okwefuga kw'eggwanga lye
yagaana bwe baali bamusaba
yes yagaana
bamugaba muwe paundi
n'abigaana yali yagala anti no si kyekyo yagamba gavana Cohen n'amugamba nti omuntu bw'akyataakyaluka bajjajjange baakola endagaano ez'okutukuuma ye abaffe omuntu bw'omukuuma okukuma kuliko maddi naagala kati endagaano ziteeka okukoma twefuge twabayita kutukuuma awo wava kale nsambulira webitandikira ebyo ffe tekyali kyakugira ki otegedde kaakati naye n'atwita nagamba nange nsanyuse nnyo
olwo UNM yeringa
FOC yes yerinako yes bwe kityo naye yali yamaanyi nnyo kaakati bwe tumala okutula ne Ssekabaka Muteesa owookubiri n'agamba nina emyenge mingi ne banne nakola ntya kubanga nange sinza kubaliga ekkubo lyemukutta eryo nange lyembadde njagala ennyo era eryantusa n'okujja kine tunywere kaakati munafa mu lubiri lw'Emmengo Emmengo mu Makaage kaakati munnaffe gundi bamuyitanga Aji Busungu Kasirye sajja yali w'amaanyi nnyo kyavaaga nti Ssaabasajja ffe tetukuganye kunywa myenge gyo naye gw'onolaba kyogira ki kyokola n'aga nti no myenge naagyo kuba mu lubiri naagyo abantu be ne baginywa gyonna etandise olwo n'aga nti nja kunywa mwenge muganda byonna agigobye byonna bamugobye era yo ensonga ku Tonto era yo ensonga emu lwaki gavana Cohen yanyigira nnyo Kabaka ne gavumenti y'Emmengo ennyo era kyova olaba nti obutagula gavumenti ya Uganda yasala ku gavumenti ya Ssaabasajja Kabaka miliyoni 5 mu kiseera ekyo yalinga egy'okukola emirimu wakiwulirako kaakati Abaganda olw'omutima gwe baalina nga baagala Kabaka waabwe n'eggwanga lyabwe nga boolaba kaakati Abaganda bakumujja Kabaka awo booleriza omuntu alifuga Uganda wano ateekwa okwagala nnyo Kabaka ne Uganda ne Buganda neetegereza kati mu kiseera ekyo gundi gavana kyava asala miliyoni 5 ku Buganda
yazisalako naye ojja kutubulira ekyaddako
nja kubabulira ekyaddako yes kaakati nti Abaganda awo ne basonda ssente emyezi 3
nawulirako nti basonda n'ezapangisa ennyonyi
myezi 3 ne bamusonda miliyoni 5 ne bazizaawo
tukyagenda maaso ne Tuwaye ndi ne James Sekajja musajja mukulu eyatandikawo ekibiina kya Conservative Party mu 1966 atunyumiza ebimu ku byaliwo nga Uganda ebuzaayo akaseera katono yeefuge mu 1962 katukomewo katugende mu maaso ndi ne Muzeeyi James Sekajja Owaaye
wanje sebo
Abaganda basonze miliyoni 5 teri bya gavana kuba asalako Buganda
ganti gwani
abantu balinga bakozi
nnyo ate
miliyoni 5 kumulwenda nkaaga
atano mwende kinani byonna nkaaga wonna ate nga sente zakolanga mu Uganda yonna zavanga mu Buganda kubanga Buganda yali nnimi ya pamba nnimi ya mwanyi
ngena n'abakozi abasasula
yes era sente zakola mu Uganda zavanga mu Buganda
so emirimu ebulanga Emmengo tejayimirira
tejayimirirako
gavana asazeeko
tejayimirira
mukolera wa national movement
twali katwawo
mukolawo okutuwaaka yennaku ezo
ebyo nga tebiriiwo tebirina kutandika
mukoze boycott
yes katumala okutandika ne Kabaka amaze okutugamba yeetaaga ne tulangirira boycott tugamba nti kakati abantu bonna bateekwa obutaddayo kugula bintu matuka g'abayindi okunywa emyenge okukola lisensi z'amaduuka
ngoye mwayamba abayindi be baali bato
ebyo byonna twagamba nti kiseera genda kutuuka tugire ki kubanga ni mu buyindi baatuuka n'okwesiba endoobi otegedde babizira byonna naffe ne tugamba nti oke buli butona tubigize eki tubizize era ekintu ekyo byonna twabiwera otegedde ekiseera ekyo abantu
yeseba abantu mwali mubagamba mutya waliwo radio kiki
kwegamba twalina empapula ze twakolanga era twazikoleranga katwe endala nga ziterekebwa wange mu maka gange.
Katwa waliyo printer okuva.
Waliwo yes byali
nze nali manyi nti yali kisubiwo.
Byaliwo.
Mugende katwa wali ne.
Twana cycle style. Twanyolanga. Kakati empapula ezo twaziwanga bano abatakisi. Tuvuga kati gwe kikiteka oba ogenda huyuma kitwale. Bw'otuuka waliwo abalungi ng'ojja okisumulako nga empapula esigala mu bbanga ng'abantu bajja bagira ki? Abagenda eggulu, abagenda lira, abagenda wa, abagenda Masaka wa yonna bibika nayo nga bimanyi kuganga omenye takisi. Babagenda egini. Awo twatambuliza boyikooti. Ogenda okutuuka egiri nga poliisi egamba nti bayiye ebipapula eno tujja kubiranisa. Kaakati awo ate. Ey'Abangereza.
Yalimu n'abaddugavu.
N'abaddugavu mwe bali baali batono. Ne basinga baali bagoowa n'abazungu.
Bakuba embooko.
Ekibooko zaaliwo. Enetu ya gasi yaliwo. Esiwa guse yaliwo naye.
Waliwo ekitegeezo yakinyumiza yanimba yaŋŋamba. Mbwe kyalesa tiya gasi bawagizi ba mupiira nakivube.
Movement era yavaako n'empapula z'amawulire nga wegatuba akantu ke batumala okulangirira ku muti ogw'eddembe ku paaka enkadde. Awo nasinsi yali amaze okugira ki? Gwalinga waggulu awo.
Abataka we bajja.
Yes, awali omuti ogw'eddembe. Oto kaakati ayo tukola boyo kulangirira. Kati buli muntu eyavaawo yennange bitusaasaanye. Kaakati awo waliwo omuze bamitanga basap yali akulira poliisi n'alagira ne bakuba abantu ebinanka. Ne bayiwa gundi tiya gasi. Era omusaayi mungi ogwayiika empapula ne zikuba ebifaananyi. Enkeera ng'emisaayi abantu batuuka emisaayi. Era empapula zonna gavumenti
olwo mukulembera muyita mu kibuga mugaba. Mulina muzeeyi bidandi awo.
Abo bamudandi bajja luvannyuma nnyo bali baluvannyuma nnyo bamudandi gundi ono ayeko Katikkiro wa Uganda ani Kintu Musoke. Bano bagundi.
Balina Mayanja Nkanji. Mweyo na Uganda.
Mayanja Nkanji teyalimu. Teyatandikirawo.
Oline kamya.
Tuline bakamya abo Musaazi bamulira ba Paulo Muwanga binaayisa. Kugamba abantu baali bangi nnyo.
Babakubye emiggo.
Kakati mu kiseera ekyo.
Emiggo egisookera ddala.
Emiggo egisookera nti ya gasi. 59. Kati okutuusa abantu lwe bakwatibwa ne bakwata Paulo Muwanga binaayisa Musaazi Elizafani Mawaji Mulira Edward Kitayimbwa olufinna banze twali tugenda tukuje tutakiriza empapula ziri ebiwandiiko biri. Kakati waliwo gundi waliwo Yosia Sekabanja kwegatwali abantu 11 abakwatibwa.
Babakubye komera.
Naye kugamba abantu 4,000 be bakwatibwa okuteekebwa mu makomera. Okwetoloola Uganda. Kati n'oluvannyuma nange nenkwatibwa.
Bakusanga waggwe.
Kakati bansanga wange nali nzizeeyo kwegamba nsoose okudduka bane bamaze okubakwata.
Osulawo olwo.
Ndi Katwawe Mmengawo ku lubiri awo Mmengawo wali amaka gange. Otegedde. Kakati bwe mba nzizeeyo olwo waliwo omuzibu bamuyitanga yali akulya Bambeke bamuyitanga Mountain. Waliwo omusajja bamuyitanga Makunege yali musajja Munnakenya. Waliwo n'omuganda omulala
Kabampembe.
Banteekako abampembe. Kakati bankwata ne batukuba eruzira akatoyi gye batujja ne batugabanyaamu nze natwalibwa Kotido mu Kalamojja binaayisa Muloto bano bannange Mulira Musaazi bane ne batwaliwa Soloti.
Kikyo lwaki babaawulamu?
Tugatuleme kubeera wamu. Otegedde bagenda batusaasanya bwe batu.
Abajja babalambuliriza makomera nabo bafune ekizibu.
Bafune ekizibu. Akalimuso kijja kulwisaayo okutuusa ng'ebiseera biyiseewo nkaaga mugumu gavumenti ya Bungereza naye emaze okutumatira kubanga CP namini Uganda National Movement kyekibiina ekyatuusa Uganda ku bwetwaze kubanga twanyigiriza abayindi ne badduka ne bagenda ne Nairobi ne badduka mu Uganda abali byalo bonna ne bavaayo. Otegedde kaakati oluvannyuma ennyo ne tukomawo tetugende tutandika mu nkaaga mu ogumu. Otegedde okutuusa gavumenti ya Bungereza n'eya Buganda n'ebeera kati okwefuga gye kutandikira
babataawo olwo ekyo nga tekinnabaawo mukomeramu amalayo ebbanga
nze namalayo mwezi mwaka gumu n'emyezi 4
wawoza
nga ate waliwo owowoleza ebyava dda tewali wowoleza
bakuteeka buteesa
kakano ngeri gitwanyigiriza ennyo kakati kwe kuvaayo mutandika okukola ebyokuteesa kali n'abagenda bongeza London conference olwo ne bagenda otegedde bakanyiza eri tusere bakomawo ne tuweebwa olunaku olw'Okitoba 9 kwegamba abazungu basooka ne banyoonya mu kiseera ekyo olunaku olw'omwenda kiki kyetugenda okujjukirako ekyamaanyi lunaku byafaayo mu Uganda kwe kunyoonya olunaku olw'omwenda Okitoba Ssekabaka Muteesa ow'olubereberye lwe yafiirako yafanga 9 Okitoba 1884 otegedde eyo yensonga ero nze olunaku olw'Okitoba 9 kakati nga tumaze
balugattako nekino ekinene
kakati banga tumaze okugira ki okufuna obwetwaze bwaffe waliwo nawo ebintu byonna ninawo ne baatuwa gundi
nalaba otambula ne fayiro
abirana sibigize baatuwa baliwo abantu bayinza okugamba nti omusajja ono kakati zino
ebyapa bino ebyedda
mwatu wali bakonoka mbadde njagala mulabeko ngize munansonyiwa bannange ati munna ebintu bimanyi bigenda bigira ki
kyoyagala tulaga lwe
lupapula olumu ku zino ebaatuwaako twafunira obwetwaze bwaffe 62 waliwo n'obutabo bwenkyalina akati wano kako twafuna guni gwa independence 3 kakati awo kakati kano katabeera ketukyalina akamusizi omuli ebyafaayo bya Uganda babiragira otegedde katojja kulabanga wano kakati omuntu alaba kekano nga tugenda okufuna obwetwaze bwe bumbu ntwe baatuwa abagenda okugira ki oba bagenda okuyingira mu gundi z'ennaku zino ne programu yes
okunaabira ebintu nga
ngugula otako tokalina ngoyingira nnyo n'amaanyi
kyasooka fanfare for freedom ceremonial trumpeters of the Uganda police and the Tanganyika police leero ye Tanzania accompanied by item eyokubiri part of the toy soldiers
bagunda eryali kume lya Bungereza
bakolamu abo
bayolesaamu
display of the 3rd regiment royal horse
kati naawo ebintu byakitiibwa nnyo era ffe awo twalina ekitiibwa kyamaanyi
olwo otuddewa
mu maaso gwennyini ku front line ng'abaserikale abalwana nnyo bendera eka ya Uganda erinnya batuwa ekitiibwa kyali kyamaanyi nnyo twogeddeko waliwo n'ebirala byesigize eki
omugenzi Kakoma naye
yaliwo nnyo
luyimba lwendula
balutadde mu Luganda ne mu Lungereza baluteeka mu Lungereza ne mu Luganda
musizi olwo awandiika ki
kakati abo balaga ebyafaayo Uganda byezeeyitamu
musizi yagulanga
siringi emu
era olupapula lw'amawulire olulimu ddala ebyomugaso byetaaga
mu 5 otegedde kakati ku mutwalo
eno yali issue 88 Oktoba 962
yes bakulaga
awandiise ku page kyolu okwefuga bakuwandiise ku
kakolejja kakati bakulaga wano ebintu ebyaliwo ebintu ebyaliwo mu kiseera ekyo ebintu ebikulu
abantu balanganga
kati olaba balugadi kati ekyo kibuga Kampala nga bwekyali kifaana agwe gemaka ye Lubaga Uganda kakati omuvudde bino byonna kati bisaasaanya eno kyekyali ekibuga ekikulu mu Uganda ate Muteesa yatandikawo omusingi gw'ekibuga Kampala ekyasookera ddala kati
musizi ono alabika yatunda
nnyo kubanga laga biki ebyali birungi nnyo kakati munnange bwe tuva eyo nga tumaze okwefuga kakati awo tutandika nga tugenda mu maaso kakati ate nga 26 fe Okitoba ntandikayo ekibiina kya Uganda Farmers Voice
kino kyempulira ennaku zino ekyabalimi
yali akiweze Obote kugamba nti ebibiina ebyali bimulwanyisa otegedde
mwefuula abeegasi mu byobulimi
naye kugamba omanyi ebyobulimi yali abikyayidde ddala kabe bantu n'obugagga tebagala okuteekawo Uganda Farmers Voice kaakati otujja tutandika tujja kati mu biseera ebyo 63 awo kagamba kintu kairi kintu yali katekera Buganda namusika ole sempa ne bampita ne bampita kwegamba lengeri gye nali ku Ssaabasajja Kabaka gy'anaabanga agenze
okuso wa protocol tukomewo olindako ojja kutandikirawo tukyagenda maaso ne Tuwaye ndi ne Muzeeyi Ssekaggya James omu ku bannabyabufuzi abagundiivu wano era omutandisi wa Conservative Party. Katugende maaso
Obote bakyateganagana na Ssaabasajja Kabaka kati awo ne bawera ekibiina kya Kabaka Obote nawera ekibiina kya Kabaka yekka mu January 66 bwawera ekibiina ekyo olw'okubanga bwetulali nga nvudde mu buwaŋŋanguse nagendako e Nairobi ne Mwami Kamya omugenzi ne Elizafani Mawaji nomwe bampitanga Kiggundu yali mukoddomi wa Mwami Kamya kati wentuuka e Nairobi nengulayo ekitabo mu matundiro g'ebitabo nengula ekitabo ekitibwa British Commonwealth kwegamba ekyalimu amatwale ga Bungereza n'ebibiina by'obufuzi otegedde bwengula ekitabo kyali kirungi nnyo bwensomamu kwekusangamu gavumenti ya Bungereza engeri gye yafugibwamu gye yafugangamu abantu n'amatwale ago n'ebibiina by'obufuzi kwekusangamu ekibiina kya Conservative Party nga kyekibiina ky'obufuzi ekyasooka ddala mu Bungereza mu 1807 eyo otegedde era nga bakiteekawo okulwanyisa omusajja bamita Cromwell yali musajja mudaaki yali musajja mudaaki yali mulwanyi nnyo gamba yasaanya obwakabaka bwa Bungereza natta kabaka wa Bungereza natta n'abafuzi abalala ne Bungereza n'agira kinagisaanyaawo kaakati oluvannyuma nga naye amaze okufa ne bateekawo Conservative Party okukuuma ebyobugagga bwa Bungereza ebyennono bya Bungereza ettaka kabaka wa
kulabanga values za Conservative Party
yes
nawe zoyina mu birowoozo
otyo yes kaakati kugaba nange waliwo Mwami Victor Kiwanuka Yosia Mayanja Hippolyto Kiyingi waliwo Wilson Ziwa Kyamagwa waliwo twali mukaaga
mwagala olwokutandika kibiina
tugende tulabe Ssaabasajja Kabaka gundi Kabaka yekaba mweze
engeri gye bawezeke
ate abantu tebaagala DP tebaagala UPC akode kutuuka eri Ssaabasajja Kabaka ne munnyonnyola ebintu bino nakkiriza era Kabaka yennyini n'abeera
yali akwagala
nnyo kuba neri twali kyali mu movement
ani yali Katikkiro
oyo wikitimanyi jankanki yali Katikkiro akale Kabaka nakkiriza netulonda ne Amos Kale Sempa yali President General waakye yasooka nange nembeera muwandiisi n'abalala ne bajja nga bagira ki
ekirowoozo gwennyini kirowoozo wabula ofunye banno
otyo yes kaakati 3 mu January n'ekirangirira obutongole 66 otegedde awo Conservative Party wegira ki wetandikira
Obote agambye atyo olwo
kaakati Obote olwo n'ababaka bali mu lukiiko Mengo nabo bazze n'abantu abalala bategaseeko tutambudde Uganda tutandise okutambula Uganda yonna egamba amatabi agaali agakewayi gayingidde mu CP abalimi nabo aba Uganda Farmers Voice kaakati Obote namanya nti kiki kaakati awo Ssaabasajja Kabaka 24 May balumbira ki olubiri akali naffe tubanga tusaasaanye kaakati mu 6 December Obote nawera CP nawera n'ebibiina by'obufuzi byonna ebyaliwo mu kiseera ekyo kaakati oluvannyuma bukinana
bakiwandiisa CP baali
yes
registra yalingawa
mu Kampala mwe yalinga
ebbaluwa yammwe
kaakati awo mu kinana kati erituvuddeyo budde nga ebugenze mu kinana wekitwa Mayanja Ankanja ansanga ku post office
kinana emyaka gyali giyiseewo
kinana wano jjo hagati waiti nzoze nekona twaga tutandika ekibiina ky'obufuzi tugenda okulonda tuleme kunyigirizibwa mugato si kirungi nnyo nga twakugesiye nawo ne munnange Samuel Kaloli buto kyoto tuteesa ku byekibiina kati ng'amayanja nkanji tya tulina Uganda Conservative Party tujja kukozesa ekyo naga nti tugende ekyo kubanga ekiki kyali United National Party ekyali kyamayanja nkanji kyali atandisewo mu nkaaga kyavaga nti tugende n'ekyo netutandikawo ekibiina ekyo kati tugenda okutuuka tulabe engeri gye tukiyisaamu ndeese ne bannange bwe twali mu kibiina ekyo abakadde kakati kyavaga nti tugende tubanyonyi tujje tulangirire otegedde nampa ne ssente kati mba ngenze Masaka eyo waliwo omukwano gwe bamuyitanga Mirugwe Yowaana Mirugwe yali mbaka mu lukiiko Emmengo ngenze mulabe tutandika okutalaaga eyo tuleete bannange wamayanja nkanji yampaye ne ssente tuba tukyali egindi Masaka nga mayanja nkanji alangira nga bataddewo Conservative Party luli bwe twatula naye bwe twatula naye tugamba tinoti ye mayanja nkanji yaga tinoti ekibiina kino Uganda People's Congress ne Uganda Conservative Party bijja kutabula abantu bajja kugira ki kutabula kakati katutekewo tujjeko Uganda tutekewo CP tulekewo CP Uganda Conservative Party CP tujigize tujijewo
musigaza CP
kati munnange mba ngenze nyonye banna mabulire twekita mayanja nkanja ataddewo kibiina kya Conservative Party kakati mwami Sempa Kalule yakulemera ebibiina 66 n'omwami Edward Musoke Bikowe yabagamba kanji tokola ensobi kulangirira CP nga Ssekajja taliiwo yateekawo CP okoze ensobi kakati ati mayanja nkanye ne yeekuba endobo n'agamba nti tulangiridde CP naye ekibiina kino 66 kyaliwo era kyalwanyisa nnyo Obote bwe yajjawo Obwakabaka n'enfuga ya Federal otegedde akati awo bwe mpulire bwe nenkomawo mu Kampala olutandika okulwanagana waliwo okulonda okwali kugenda okubeera mu Nakasero Secondary School
teyagamba nti owange nabadde nkoye
lekuga musajja muzibu nnyo mukwano gwange musajja mulokole era byenjogera bino njagala biwule kubanga yatuzze tugira kinga mulabula yakola ensobi nnene nnyo oluvannyuma kakati ebyava mu kyo kakati nteesa akantu kano nja kukabalekera
yali akukoze kakodyo kabyabufuzi
kabyabufuzi naye Katonda najja Katonda muzibu nnyo
wandaza olupapula wano
era nja yes kakati ebyo kakati nja kwolekera olupapula luno simanyi bambi luno kakati njagala sibo kama wayi oli musajja muyivu nnyo njagala osome akantu ake ensi yonna neewulire okomaawo vaawo ojja kukomaawo kasootuka wali kasootuka wali gundi bw'otuuka wali gundi katenta apuuli ng'okoma kati sooka ove waggulu awo
the Constitution of the Conservative Party gwe mutwe gw'ekiwandiiko
yes
Article 1 Preamble whereas the Conservative Party was launched in April 1980 after the existence of a similar party in January 1966/7 and ushered on the Uganda political scene as a new party by J.S. Mayanja Nkanji, Ashes James Ssekajja siyoyo Stephen Katenta Apuli budde lukwago
amusempa omulesa amusempa
musazamu wano
kugwa twali kugamba bantu batugenda okutemagamba abantu ape kubali bonna baafa
amusempa Stephen Katenta
akatirekera awo ne bw'otogende wala nnyo
budde lukwago wa mimbi n'abalala
togenda wala kakati bw'osoma akatudunku bagamba nti waliwo ekibiina ky'obufuzi Conservative Party ekyatandikibwayo ekipya mu Uganda
balaga kiri nti weewaawo waliwo kino kyeboogera
kakati wano mu Luganda katogere mu Luganda bagere kibawulire ddala mu Luganda kigamba nti newankubadde ekibiina kya Conservative Party kyaggulwawo mu butongole nga April 1998 oluvannyuma lw'ekibiina kyekimu ekyali kitandikiddwawo nga January 1966 ku musingi gw'ebibiina by'obufuzi mu Uganda ekyazzibwawo abakungu bano wammanga Owekitiibwa Mayanja Nkanji mwami affe James Ssekajja Owekitiibwa Amos Kalule Sempa n'abalala
ekyo yebwina
akakasa
lwaki Lukyamuzi yali ate naye avuddeyo
Lukyamuzi kwagamba
yafaayo yali abyerabidde
kubanga zino ne bolo za Lukyamuzi nnyingi nnyo otegedde guzi Owekitiibwa Mayanja Nkanji yali abagobi ngannyonnyola nti Ssekajja gwe watandikawo ekirala ky'obufuzi Mayanja Nkanji yali abagobi mu kibiina ye Owekitiibwa Nsubuga Nsambu waliwo Mayinja Koseya Sewanyana akumenya Luchamuzi nampandikira ebbaluwa tisebo mwami Sekajja gwatandika ekyo kya Conservative Party nga 3 January 1996 Mayanja ankanji talina buyinza kutokuba mu kibiina kola kyo next oboka ojje otuyambe yes ebbaluwa wiri ntati kati tuvugati wali mulalu
oba wali waka sente ke baba wiriza
bamuwa sente reka ke msa kino tumulwanyisa tujjo afinye sene nyize z'ekibiina tatuyambye danga mikugambye kati twatandika office sajja yeje dajjamu ntebe nazibba file azitutte ye bimuti misango gina ku police
wamuwabira
okupira twamuwabira ajjewe ebinaka n'ebipande by'ekibiina toyinza kugano nojja ntebe mu office nozijjamu nozitwala abantu banatuulawa kakati tugamba okulonda tabyagala atwaba tugenda okulonda ngebule ennaku 2 yagera n'awaabo omusango nti abalangidde okulonda si batuufu otegedde ng'ate naye ekibiina emyaka gye jaggwako 5 jaggwako dda
kyogamba abeesibako
wantu esibako beesibi tayagala tulonde
founder lwaki ekintu tokyezza
okutayaddiza ate kati twagala kulonda abakulembeze abapya
emyaka tebakyakukkiriza
nze saagala bwagazi kakati mwabavubuka bunaakola ki nze nazaala omwana tebozaala omwana ate gwogera
tukwayanziza nnyo mwami Sekajja webale kuki
yesebo
emboozi yo mpanvu naye tukyanyumya ku byafaayo bya Uganda
yesebo
nga tetunnatuuka mefuga
yesebo
tugenda kuweza myaka 5
yesebo
tujja kuba tubeebuuzaako nnyo abantu nga mwe bingi bye tukyayagala okumanya
yesebo
tetuyinza bimalayo mu ddakiika zino 3
yesebo
kibeera kizibu
tujja kubanyonyola kakati wala mu kiseera kino kyanjagadde okwogerako tulina omukolo ogw'okubeerawo nga 3 omwezi guno ogwa Juni okujjukira emyaka 176 Kasookedde Ssekabaka Muteesa Olubeberye azaalibwa nga 3 June 1836
omukolo
guli ku kanisa Empereero Church of Uganda ku Metro ku luguudo lw'Egayaza ne Ssaabasajja Kabaka twamusaba okubeera ku mukolo ogwo tannaba kutuddamu tuyisa abantu bangi nnyo namwe era tugenda kubaaniriza
tuyanza sebo
yesebo
mukama kulembere ngoddayo
amina
mubeere bulungi
yesu nebeera bulungi
ebadde Tuwaye oyo omukulu Ashe James Sekajja omutandisi wa Conservative Party mu 1966 okutuusa omulundi omulala nze Frank Olsen mubeere bulungi.
This is NTV.
Hello and welcome to Login with me, your girl Robin Kisti. Comedy has definitely spread all over, and here in Uganda it definitely is like a virus. Last weekend the comedy fans enjoyed a one-off experience where they brought to them a night of 1,000 laughs, which is a famous comedy show all over Africa. So check this out because we cracked our ribs out.
Used to listen to those calls from customer care. Ha, Baganda. Hello. Everything they call about is about cheating. If a man were to through your phone and saw the messages you sent to the other man, would he read it?
It is true what they say about laughter, that when one laughs, it spreads all over like a virus.
Is this the custom? You know, Westerners, they will never get involved in matters that don't involve signing false documents. Aaron, you have a very big problem. You see, at my place here, I stay next to a mama. Actually, his hammer crosses my compound, but that is not the issue. Yes, sir, how may we help you? My phone has 3 bars, I want 4. Westerners, the best people are Cholis. The man is gone. Hello, 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 hello. I see it's not going through. Then these people tell him, call again, hello. Customer, how may I help you? Yeah, very good. Listen very well. We have a very big problem. When they ask you, what's the problem? Hold on. They ask the friend. Tell them what the problem is. With the airtime, we are loading and this airtime is not going. They ask me, which airtime are you using? This one, I'm sending.
Last Friday, a well-known comedy show that is viewed all over Africa, dubbed A Night of 1,000 Laughs, was hosted here in Uganda at the Imperial Royal Hotel.
Am I here? You are here. Are you sure? Yes. Ask your neighbor. Ask your neighbor. What are you asking your neighbor now? You talk, man. What did you ask him? You're pointing at me. Am I here? You're asking me. I've already eaten your money. Whether I give you the answer or not, you have lost. There was a drink I drank before I came here. I didn't know I was in Uganda till this morning. They told me I've been here for 3 days. They even told me I went to radio and TV to do adverts for this program. I can't remember. This same drink, I drank it the other time. I collapsed and looked for S. You know when you collapse and you find S, that's collapse. I collapsed and looked for S. By the time I woke up, I saw some other people lying by me. I was out. I won't lie. I'm telling you, through life experience. See, I woke up, I saw some other people lying by me. In order to not to be disrespectful, to respect myself, I greeted them. Good day. Hello. How are you? And I saw some other people lying on table. Some other people lying inside shelf. I was in a mortuary. They thought I was dead. The drink cleared halfway immediately. When I was trying to find my way out, some things fell. Attendant came and opened the door. As he opened the door, have you watched Escape from Sovibo? I was on my way to the nearest village. I was out of there. I was running. I thought I was just going to run for my life. When I turned, I saw 2 of the mortuary attendants with gun and cutlass chasing me. They were shouting, "You must die, oh! They have counted the bodies. You must die. We will not pray for you. You must come back here. You must die." I decided to just depend on this one. At least at the end of the day, I know my condition.
And in my country, they told me that there is only one man in the whole world that can marry me. Please, anybody has a Moses Golola number? In Uganda, your policemen are very active. They arrest people in public view, holding some kind of places there. Now, I am very angry. A policeman arrests you, a woman, you catch you like this and you want to sue, and you okay. Look at me, I am 40 years. For 5 years now, nothing. Nobody. If I go, policeman hold here, I will say catch the other one and put some in your mouth.
It featured comedians from all over Africa, including Eric Omond from Kenya, Clint the Drunk from Nigeria, and of course our very own Patrick Idringi, also known as Salvador, just to mention a few names. These comedians definitely cracked some ribs with jokes that reflected influences from all over Africa.
I see. You know, and I love Nigerian movies. How many people love Nigerian movies? Very wonderful. I love Nigerian movies. You know, Nigerian movies getting to the level where Indian movies got to. You remember Indian movies? You know, Indian movies are very interesting. You know, in a movie, there's what you call the introduction, the body of the movie, and then the climax. Now, Indians don't know how to do climax of the movie. Because you find that when it's climax, that's when the starring of the movie is about to shoot the bad guy. And there's silence in the movie hall. When it's just about to shoot the bad guy, that's when they hear. What is this? What is it? What is that? I mean, that is the climax of the movie. And it is always, when you shoot in Indian movies, when you shoot a man, it is always the girlfriend or the wife that takes the bullet. You shoot a man, and their gunshots are different from our gunshots. It's something like this. And when you shoot a whole man, you know what happens? When you shoot an Indian man, it is the girlfriend or the wife that takes the bullet. You shoot them, and the lady like, Nahi. She's not to be shot, and then instead of calling the ambulance, you have your wife here. Your wife has been shot because of you. You don't call them, they never call the ambulance. They just sit there and talk. Maharaj Kamal Katumnaya.
It was definitely more than 1,000 laughs as we laughed endlessly. If you're wondering how your favorite celebrities are doing or what kind of life they live just a normal life, just like us. And they have ups and downs, which is what we cover here in the Here's It. So check this out. Word on the street is that Cindy Sanyu, former Blue 3 member, went to India for a show where she worked her magic as usual. However, after Cindy performed and came home, she realized that she had been paid fake dollars by a fake promoter. On her Facebook page, she went on ahead and said, "I finally found some pictures of the fake promoter who paid me in fake dollars." She had the picture of the man and the name. So go check it out, musicians. Don't be conned. And he is Ugandan too. What a shame. The music industry is revolving in every way, from the lyrics, from the videos, and the whole outlook of the industry. And what we hear is that Navia will be launching a new video this week, which is going to be more like a movie because it's going to be launched at the Cineplex. Wow, we can't wait to see how this is going to look like. We hope it does not disappoint us. Good luck, Navio, and watch this space, people. We're going to take a quick break, but when we do come back, there's more login. That was not a long break. But anyways, culture is spreading all over Uganda, not only Ugandan culture, but culture from all over different countries. At last weekend, they were celebrating the Italian culture with the Italian food festival that took place at the Serena Hotel. Check this out. Italian was the culture trend last week at the Serena Hotel. They had a chef teaching how to make some of the most famous Italian dishes all week, including pasta, pizza, and many more. They then concluded the week with a big Italian night that had deliciosa Italian food, high-end Italian fashion, and Italian melodies in the background. Guests were dressed with class, and they definitely reflected the theme and culture of the night. The man I'm talking to today has been off the scene for a while now. However, he's just been concentrating on other things. So if you need to know more about Toolman, check this one-on-one out. I'm here chilling with the one and only Toolman. Toolman. Oba diwa.
Jendi mbadeo kamba Uganda nene so.
Welcome back. How are you doing, darling?
I'm good. I'm good.
So Toolman, tell me what you've been up to. I mean, I haven't seen you on the scene for a minute. Where have you been? I mean, all this great music that you left us with. What's happening now?
A lot of things have been happening in my life. Yeah, not seeing me on that I'm doing nothing. A lot of things have been happening. Yeah.
For example, I mean, we want to know.
Business-wise, family-wise, and basically that's what I can say. Yeah.
Tell me about these tattoos. It's two stars right here. You see them? What do these mean?
These are my 2 beautiful daughters. Yeah.
He has some cute daughters.
Yeah, these are my 2 beautiful daughters. Yes.
On your face.
It is a Tencel and Leslie Chibalama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Family man, I see.
Yeah.
Well, so Toolman, tell me about what's going on with music-wise. I want to talk to you now about music-wise. I remember the old school songs.
Yeah.
Because those were great songs.
Yeah.
From Chisumuluzo.
Yeah.
Huh? Great song that was. So right now, music-wise, what's happening with you?
I have some new stuff.
Okay.
2012. Yeah, I have a new song which is doing well on the airwaves. It's called Onkokonya. Yeah, that is producer Derek Pro. Then I have another version of a song called Tuwaye. That is alongside with my friend called Zaga. Yeah, some albino guy, but it's good. He's a dancehall artist. Yeah. So basically, 2012. Expect more stuff. I'm in studio, crafting more music and more new videos.
Okay.
Coming soon.
Yeah. So personally, I don't know what I would call your music. Maybe I don't know what I would call it. But tell me, what genre is your music, and how do you like to class your music?
Basically, mostly people call it dancehall, but there is a fusion. Yes, there is a fusion of the Afro content, so you can call it the Afro dancehall. Yes, the fact that I'm doing it in my mother language, then that makes it the Afro dancehall. Yeah. That's what I can call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and one thing about your music, it's very interesting, the themes that are in the songs, like Chisumuluzo. You know that song? It's a classic. No one can forget that song because of what it says. Chisumuluzo. For me, I feel like an artist's name is a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and your name, Toolman. I have to say it's a very interesting name. Where does this name come from?
Toolman, I got that when I joined high school. That was at Kitante. Yeah. So before even that, I used to work in a disco. So like emceeing, doing the tracks, the dubs, and like whenever I wanted a microphone, I would say, hey, pass me that tool. Any instrument, any electronic that I used to deal with around, I would call it a tool. So people around me started calling me Tool. Tool. So I just added on man. Then later, Chibalama. Yeah.
Is Chibalama your real name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically Toolman Chibalama. Yeah.
So Toolman, tell me, I'm sure your albums. How many albums so far have you done anyway since you got into the game?
Basically 2 albums. To be precise, like those which have been on the market.
Okay.
Yeah, that is Kisumuruzo album and then the Password album. Yeah. Then others have been coming in as. Coming up, maybe late in this year, I'll be putting up something, Toolman Experience. So,
okay. Kind of like a concert.
Yeah, but it will be Toolman Experience. So basically, the many songs which have not come on a full album, like which have been coming on singles. So I'll be putting them together into a concert called Toolman Experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should wait for the Toolman Experience. Yeah. Okay. Well, coming back on the scene, because for us we're great fans of yours, definitely. And thank you very much for talking to me. So Chisumuruzo? Tukagamba kachaka peke. Onkokonya ke kagamba kapye.
Nachwejwe muga katonda onkokonya engeri jobi bya wala yentizinga abafa papa gowe kanchankalanya chirabe kabina Chiwato, hey, lama yo, ndi mukubona jam after jam. Nze just then closer time after time. Yeah. Toolman, roughest Mahogany. Yeah, man, a FBI female body investigator. I want Mahogany straight from Chebando, boom toucher. Yeah. I want roughest badman Toolman Chivalama. Yeah, and me watch Logan. Yeah, don't touch that dial, you see me? Yeah, I'm out.
Yes, Toolman Chivalama on Koko Nyacha. Sumuluzo Viona. Keep it locked. Kiss is going to take another break, but keep it locked on NTV, and Logan will be right back. There are many different record labels in the industry, and last weekend one of them was celebrating 5 years, and that was Raw Records enjoying 5 years. Check this out.
Used to know, he's shawty. I don't care about the other guys. I just care about you because I know you are the one. I don't need nobody telling me.
At Cayenne Raw Records, an urban music record label was celebrating 5 years in the business.
That's what's going down. It's Bro Breakfast, baby. Just gonna let all the six ladies in the house. Hey, shorty, you're the kind of girl that I want. The kind of girl that got my back, so I'ma put you in the front. The leaves I put you first, and the rest come after. Cause I love your smile, love the sound of your laughter. Take you to a family, so I'll take you to the pyramids. Dinner, us, arena, or a movie at the Cineplex. There's no doubt, baby, I'm really feeling this. I'ma treat you like a lady, I'ma put my real in this. You know I love you, you know I really do. I can't wait for the next time I'll be with you. It's like a city, oh, you're like a deja vu. You're rolling with a wrong person, let me keep my shoes. What? You know, ladies and gentlemen, we're Ferry in the house tonight. You know what I'm talking about?
It has been a good 5 years as they have worked on many records with many talented artists signing to their label. It was a great show.
We've been doing this and we're going to bring you the next 5 years, which are going to be unbelievable. Right here with me, I have Innocent, a director of Raw Records. I have Hype Man Entertainer of Raw Records. I have the CEO himself, Raw Records, boss Raw Cash. I got Litho as well right here. I got J-Effect, Urban Accent representer in the background. I've got everybody here to tell you one thing. Hip-hop in Uganda is not a lost cause. Put your strength to a group and let us do this as a group.
I'm a murder, further murder them like cream on a spin. It's the lethal injection I'm about to set in. Make you scream on the scene like Freddy Krueger again. I slay you off, no buffoonery like Edie Amin. I murder when I step in, I murder your profession. Don't you stop it, baby. You know what it is. You're tuned to log in and don't even touch it. You know what it is. Only on NTV, baby. Holla, it's your boy Lethal. Peace from Raw Records.
You're watching Log In with me, your girl Robin Kisty. Keep it locked on NTV. Bye-bye.
This is NTV.
This is the Art and Design Show, and in the highlights, the history of the Statue of Liberty, and Tintin Goes Bananas. What happened to all the Matoke? Coming up. This feature presents the importance of jewels and beadworking in present-day usage. Jewelry is any piece of fine material body. Today, we meet two innovative jewelry creators. Linda and Mona started making jewels for their personal use, but inevitably had to go commercial.
When you're going out with your girlfriends and you're looking for something to wear, you're like, I have blue blouse, but I don't have blue jewelry. So you just fix something there and then. And like, oh, okay, this would go. And when you go out, your friends are like, oh, where did you buy that? Like, no, I actually made it.
Even when I was a kid, you know, children, we get excited about seeing new things, but you can't exactly buy them because your parents are not, you know, willing to buy them for you. You're still a child growing up. So you just decide to make something that's similar to that. And you get away with it because everyone is so impressed.
At the end of the day, you just find yourself with so many things you just made there and then. So we just decided, why not just do this for business?
It's like a fire inside. So with Linda there, then she has the same fire, the same drive and everything, the same passion for fashion. So, you know, put us together and yeah, that's what we're doing.
Fascinated by the bright African colors, Linda and Mona have chosen to make jewels with African and Asian beads.
Basically, they're from all over the world, but even locally we have some.
Yeah. So try to, you know, show these off to see, you know, to show people what they can, you know, have out of these.
But we're trying so much to be unique. So we try so hard to get different beads from other parts of the world so that our products or our items are really, really unique.
Linda and Mona have different characters, and it is this difference that makes their jewelry unique.
The good thing with Linda and I is she's the more, if I could say, the more, and not in a bad way, the more flashy person. I'm more reserved. So we blend that together. So I could maybe understand the more conservative person's point of view, and then she would understand the, you know, the more fashionable person. So we put our ideas something, you know, productive for the client.
Making jewelry is not as difficult as it may seem. What makes it challenging, perhaps, is the absolute creativity required.
Satisfying the customer, because, you know, especially when somebody doesn't know what they want. You know, because you can suggest something and then maybe somebody can say, oh no, you know what, this is too extravagant for me, I couldn't wear that.
You can sit down with your client and ask them, what's your taste? Some people don't like chunky stuff, others don't like really small ones, others want, you know, medium looking ones. So you sit and discuss with them, how would you want it? Would you want it big or small or bright colored or dull colored? So you discuss with them, and of course once you're flowing with your client, you know their taste.
The tools for making jewelry range from simple pliers to polishers, wire twisters, wire cutters. As the art of bead making is rapidly catching on in Kampala, Linda and Mona love the competition. After all, it's because of this competition that they have chosen to go commercial.
It's pretty hard, you know, just to sit back and look at things that people do and then charge people exorbitantly for them. I think our things are priced really you know, reasonably, and they're unique, I could safely say they're unique.
While sometimes it is tiring, it is also a lot of fun. It is a nice way to give back to the community as well as making someone look absolutely unique.
We work with passion, you know? So when you're making a necklace, you're thinking, is this something I would wear? I think that's the most important thing. You think, is this something I would wear? You're not just making it because, oh, I'm going to make money, or you look at it, and most of the time, me and Mona, whenever I make something, I go to her, and I'm like, would you wear this? And she's like, yes, I would wear that.
Unlike fashion that is determined by various givens, jewelry is more complex in its ability to blend with clothes and individual style.
Funny enough, most of the people, or most of the clients that come to us, have a particular outfit they would want to match with the jewelry. So the person would come and say, I have a blue dress with green flowers.
And right now, Linda and Mona have set their minds on taking their talent a step further, making jewelry for the international market.
International.
We would like to expand, we would definitely like to expand, but you know, this is only the beginning, so we have a lot of work ahead of us.
The Statue of Liberty was originally called Liberty Enlightening the World, symbolizing liberty in form of a woman. She wears flowing robes and a spiked crown of 7 spokes, symbolizing the 7 oceans and the 7 continents. She holds a torch aloft in her right hand and carries in her left a book of law inscribed 4th July 1776. At her feet lie shackles, symbolizing the overthrow of tyranny. The Statue of Liberty was presented by the French to the Americans in 1886 to honor the friendship between the two nations. Alsatian sculptor Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, the French sculptor renowned for his famous being the Statue of Liberty, was born on the 2nd of April 1834. Bartholdi thought well beyond the image of what would be the world's tallest monument. He considered such practical matters as how to support over 100 tons of copper plate and how to make the 151 feet tall statue be able to withstand the forceful winds of the New York Bay. Bartholdi turned to Gustav Eiffel, the engineer famous for his innovative bridge designs, who would subsequently build the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel anticipated skyscraper construction when he designed the Statue of Liberty's supporting frame. The statue was divided into about 300 sections, and each section enlarged to 4 times its size by the painstaking mathematical process of pointing up, in this case involving many thousands of measurements and as many verifications. By 1884, Liberty Enlightening the World was complete. Liberty was dismantled and packed in 220 crates in preparation for her ocean voyage to her permanent home across the Atlantic. The Statue of Liberty arrived on Bedloe's, now Liberty Island, in New York Bay on June 19, 1885. An 89-feet-high concrete pedestal was built to support the statue. As the framework rose, the workmen attached the copper skin with 300,000 copper rivets in precisely drilled holes. President Grover Cleveland accepted the statue for the United States on October 28, 1886. The Statue of Liberty stands 305 feet and 1 inch over New York City and weighs nearly 225 tons of copper over steel. The face of the Statue of Liberty is that of a woman said to be Bartholdi's mother, Charlotte Bartholdi. Today, it is recognized as a symbol of liberty throughout the world. There are several tours of the monument itself. Beginning in the pedestal of the monument, visitors can take the observatory tour, view the breathtaking structure, and learn about the history of the statue by visiting the History Museum. Children and adults can also view the beautiful scene of the New York Harbor from the top of the pedestal. Nowhere else on earth is there a symbol that expresses the concept and idea of personal freedom as dramatically as the Statue of Liberty. A former student of fashion and design and now an energetic designer, Daphne Chaligonza tells us what drew her into the industry.
I am a person that likes more than 2 colors. If I see anything with 3 colors and it looks good, I'm like, wow. So first of all, a friend of mine called Mario told me, I'll show you this billboard of colors of Benetton that they first put in Italy. So I was like, okay, let me see that. And it was just rough with all these colors, red, yellow, black, blah, blah, all colors there. But it was so nice. I said, wow, I like it. Then he said, but everyone was annoyed. Everyone said, what is this design about?
Having produced outfits for many different functions, Daphne believes that her clients are her pace setters.
Many customers, when they want something very nice for a big event, they don't know what they want. Whatever they find is not good enough. So they tend to say, okay, I've come here, but I don't know what I want. I just want something. First of all, the easiest way to get them to show you what they like is you get them just magazines.
Daphne stresses that Impressionism is the newspaper of the soul. She uses a wide range of colors to match body size and skin complexion.
For example, if someone had big hips, I would advise them to go for dark colors because they make the hips look smaller. If someone is small, they can go for something bright. We'll take, for example, a body like this. This is an African body, a typical African body. They are normally small up and then they are wide at the bottom. So for her skin color, would want to brighten her up a bit. So I've thought of this a little bright fabric that is dark and bright. So the bright bit will go at the bust, and then we have the dark bit on the hips to make them look smaller. Then this would go nice with a Nigerian headgear.
Daphne has also designed a range of outfits from the simple casual to the more sophisticated for celebrities on the Ugandan music scene.
I've done a lot of costumes for Blue 3, and I've done all Cindy's outfits for the carpet, like Palm Awards, Goat Race, or whatever party she goes to, I do clothes for her. I also did Irene Nambiru's evening wear, African evening wear for the Palm Awards. I have done something for Juliana Kanyomozi. I did for Doreen Kayongo a creative wear for her Miss Makerere. I've done all Alex Mukulu's costumes since I don't know when. It's not so hard for me to design for them because they always have a look they want. Most of them will come with a magazine. So when Irene told me that, I said, okay, do you mean this? You know, then I drew for her stuff, and then most of them would want to see a picture. So I got pictures out. Then she saw a picture of the Miss World from Nigeria and said, I would like this. For Cindy, she was visiting Italy of recent. She went to a Gucci shop and saw a lovely dress made out of denim. So when she came 2 days before the Palm Awards. So she came and told me, you know what, I saw this lovely dress at the Gucci shop. It was denim. I just want anything with denim. So I said, cool. And that's it. So I sat down, got denim, did some embroidery on it, and I haven't made for her, I'd never made for her something red. So I mixed it with red linen.
It's just a matter of time before Daphne soars to the top as a designer.
Stella Attal was showcasing her collection in Stakeout. Was asked by Andre of Paparazzi to come and show something. So I showed a sackcloth that I put beads and many bright colors on it. It was kind of a creative wear. I see myself in 5 years with more customers. Collections, like I think in 5 years I'll have 5 collections, and then I'll have a shop full of clothes that people can come and buy, because right now I don't have so many stuff for people to buy. Yeah, and then I see I'll have more money. Maybe I'll be married, I don't know.
Daphne stays committed to seriously contributing to the development of the local fashion industry and the more inspired. Tintin Goes Bananas. What happened to all the matoke?
Try to keep up, Tintin.
Sorry, but Snowy found a bone. Give it to me, Snowy. You don't know where it's been.
The Tintin stories were written in the 30s, 40s and 50s. And they took a Belgian boy detective called Tintin with a variety of friends and colleagues and put him into all kinds of interesting situations all over the world. So there are stories set in China, there are stories set in South America. And there's one story set in Africa. which is called Tintin in the Congo, but it's an early one and it's not really very interesting. So we had the idea that this would make a very good dramatization if we could kind of update the Tintin story, set it in Uganda, and invent a story which was true to the type of story that Tintin, and the type of incidents that Tintin gets involved in, but also had a distinct, had a flavour here and a relevance for our audience here.
Oki Matoki. Powdered Matoki banana porridge fortified with iron and essential vitamins. Tastes like nature made it, only better.
It's the most disgusting thing we've ever eaten.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
She has a wonderful speaking voice, and she's a very good singer. And so with those ingredients, with acting experience, with a physical appearance that was right, and with the quality of her voice, both speaking and singing, she was just perfect for the part.
Missing Matoki. Vanished gorillas. My investigative journalist nose smells a rat.
Oh, my nose smells a bone. Oh, please, Tintin, I'm so hungry.
Down, Snowy. Bad dog. You mustn't eat gorilla bones. It's not respectful.
Yes, Tintin.
The villain in the Tintin stories, or one of the villains in the Tintin stories, is called Rastapopoulos, and he is a classic children's comic villain. So he's overweight, he's greedy, he thinks of complicated, wicked plans to do all kinds of things to make money. And he's physically, again, he's a short, fat man with a big moustache and a big nose.
This is my best scam yet!
We didn't have anyone who came to our auditions who quite lived up to that kind of appearance. So we decided to do something different, and we decided to change the part of Rastapopoulos from a male part to a female part, or at least to cast a female actor. We cast somebody called Kat Tucker, who'd been in pantomimes before. We cast her as a man. So we actually took the pantomime genre even further, and we had a leading lady who was a man, and a leading villain who was a lady.
What did you say it was called again? Uganda. Uganda head. Well, one thing's for sure, that wretched boy Tintin won't find us here.
It provided us with some interesting costume challenges and an interesting dynamic. And in fact, the part of Rastapopoulos' sidekick, who is in the books, is called Captain Allen.
Children, quickly, line up. They're coming. Smile. Children, I said smile.
In this one, we changed that to a lady's part as well and called it Alana Allen, and constructed a relationship between Rastapopoulos and Alana.
This charity's dry. This seems to please.
Well, sometimes you have to make what's the expression? You have to make a virtue out of necessity.
You stepped on my butt. Oh, shut up.
My poor I think I've got indigestion.
Captain Wedlock, I'm asking you a question.
Do you love me? You're a fool.
Suppose that Bianca Castafiore and Captain Haddock were rumoured to be engaged and getting married, when really they don't get on at all. So we wanted to build that into the story. But this was the part of the pantomime dame. So this is the part that was deliberately played by a man dressed up as a woman.
Their reporter thought that I was in love with that crusty, old sea dog, Captain Padlock. Still doesn't mean a thing. The newspapers have had me engaged to Prince Charles when he was in between wives, Mick Jagger.
What we did two things. The first one was that we simply got him to enthusiastically early in the show, because we also felt this would be very funny and would get our audience warmed up. Then later in the show, where there is actually a call to sing for some opera singing. The song is called the Jewel Song. The Jewel Song in the books is Bianca Castafiori's signature tune. Now, we couldn't get Alex, possibly, to sing that. I mean, it's a man, he has a tenor voice, and to try to sing the part of a mezzo-soprano, catastrophic. So what we did was we were lucky enough to have an opera singer, a trained opera singer in our cast, by the name of Courtney Preston, and she has an absolutely lovely singing voice. So we got her to sing the Jewel Song, and we had Alex mime the part, and rather badly.
Tell me, have you heard my new #1 hit single, The Jewel Song? Would you like to hear it? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You would love to hear it.
I spent a lot of time reading the Tintin stories to my boys, particularly a few years ago when they were a bit smaller, but they still liked to read them. So I was quite used to reading the part that I actually played, which is the part of Captain Haddock, who is a great friend of Tintin, and is Tintin's, I suppose he's Tintin's sidekick in a sense, but he's a little bit more than that. So I was already used to the concept of that part and used to speaking the type of things that he says. So from that angle, it was quite easy. What, of course, is extremely difficult is that for the scenes that I'm in, it's then very difficult to concentrate both on what I'm doing and what other people are doing. But because I had such a fantastic cast, and I really did, I had a very talented cast right the way throughout the show, and because the cast was so good, it was relatively easy for me. So once I decided where I wanted people to be and when and where I wanted them to enter and exit and how I wanted them to play their characters, direction wasn't too much of a problem.
Would you like my hips?
2 hips, no ties.
I love this song.
Everyone enjoyed themselves. The rehearsing process was relatively straightforward. The music was fun. It was an enormous amount of fun both preparing to do it and then actually performing here.
The bad guys have been captured, Grace and Patrick are reunited, the gorillas have been saved, and nobody in Uganda will have to watch another Okie Matoki ad ever again.
That makes me feel like singing!
That brings this edition of the Art and Design Show to a close. Remember, art evokes mystery, without which the world would not exist. Join us next week. Until then, enjoy the rest of your viewing.
This is NTV.
end of Uganda's electricity woes.
Bujagali Power Project finally completed, adding power to the national grid.
Thursday night, the 19th of July 2012, and this is NTV Tonight, coming to you live from the Serena Conference Center in Kampala.
Tonight, shall we be seeing more light and less darkness as the Bujagali interconnectivity power grid is completed?
Also, sports betting on the sport. The thriving gaming sector that has sucked sometimes children as young as 12 and sports fans alike, is it time it was regulated? That debate forms part of our topic on NTV. Paul, be sure to have your say.
But first, let's have a look at the rest of the headlines.
Eyes on sports betting. Police issues guidelines for the gaming industry.
Also tonight, stop creating new districts. Analysts fault government on move to create more administrative units.
Hopes of finding survivors fade as ferry sinks off the coast of Zanzibar with more than 250 on board.
Hello and welcome. I am Gabriel Apedo.
I am Rachel Arinitwa. Warm welcome to NTV Tonight. Now, the Bujagali Interconnection Project is finally completed, boosting the country's energy capacity to 484 megawatts.
Well, the project was meant to increase access to less expensive and more reliable electricity supply.
As Craig Kadoda reports, the capacity currently surpasses the energy needs of Uganda's population, which stands at 472 megawatts.
Could scenes like this now become a thing of the past after the completion of the Bujagali interconnection project? The completion has cost 227 billion Ugandan shillings. This includes the installation of electricity lines to transport the electricity from sources of transmission plants at Nalubale, Kawanda and Mutundwe substations, from where it is distributed to the public. These have now been boosted as well in capacity, bringing the total energy generation from all plants in the country at peak time to 484 megawatts.
It has added capacity. Farm capacity has been increased. As I'm talking of now, that's why I say that we have now a farm generation capacity farm 484 on the grid, yet our demand is around 474. So for the first time in so many years, we are now meeting our demand requirement.
This means that all the thermal generation that was boosting the supply of the national grid has been phased out, and this money will now be diverted to other government programs. So, what does this mean to an average consumer apart from the constant load shedding?
Now, the consumers, we increase slightly from 400 to 500. Regulator computed out what it costs now to meet all the costs. Now, again, slowly but surely, the cost reflective tariff, the costs of what it costs to generate, transmit, distribute power, bring that kilowatt hour to your house is met by you, the consumer. Still, the government, by the way, we have some thermal power plant for emergency purposes. They are still there. And those ones, it's not a very big cost.
The interconnection lines have helped expand the national grid to increase the rate of access by communities to electricity. The transmission lines are currently evacuating all the 250 megawatts from Bujagali power plant, and the Bujagali switch yard will be upgraded to 220 kilovolts soon. These are all aimed at increasing rural electrification and distribution. Craig Kadoda, NTV.
Police have issued new guidelines for the fast-growing sports betting and gaming industry in Uganda. Some of the principal players in the sector will have to adhere to include ensuring adequate security for their clients and prohibiting those under 18 from engaging in the practice.
If these young men are below the age of 18 or do not possess a certain amount of betting money to be agreed upon soon by stakeholders in the industry, then they sure may not be checking on these notice boards soon for where the next jackpot could come from. This is because police, in liaison with the National Lottery Board and Kampala Capital City Authority, have come up with measures to streamline and regulate the operations of betting and gaming entities in Uganda. These include slapping an age limit for those allowed to bet and a minimum amount of money that one will be required to place on a bet.
And what we have agreed on, which is going to be implemented immediately after here, is that all minors, those who are below the age of 18, are not supposed to bet. Regulating body, they should come up with a minimum fee, minimum amount of money a person should have for him to be allowed to bet.
Police say the restrictions are meant to dissuade the public from depending on the industry as a means of survival.
It's not an alternative means of income, it is leisure.
Proprietors of betting outlets have also been issued with their own set of rules to follow as well.
There is minimum capital that we shall put on so that you have enough money to be able to pay people who win. Failure to do that, we shall actually, as the police was saying today, they will have to come onto you as a fraudulent operator.
We have association of our sports betting company, and in that association we have a set of code of conducts. We do follow that.
Betting in the sports fraternity has over the years grown into a multi-million shillings industry, with many companies setting up shop in different parts of the country to attract clients who are mainly sports fans. However, despite their successes, players in the industry have been blamed for evading taxes and exploiting Ugandans.
This issue that we seek your views and would like to hear your thoughts on tonight's NTV poll. And so we are asking, do you support the new police guidelines on sports betting? Do you support the new police guidelines on sports betting?
Well, to have your say, text your yes or no comment or contribution to 8778. Do remember to include your name and where you are commenting from. We shall be reading some of them during tonight's newscast, and as well as bring you the final poll result at the very end. Now, economic analysts say government should stop creating new districts because they are not economically viable. The comments come a day after government tabled a request in Parliament to create more districts, raising the number to 135. The analysts from Economic Policy Research Centre argue that splitting administrative units will only create more pressure on public administration. Jingo Francis has been following up that story.
Local Government Minister Adolf Mwesige last evening introduced to Parliament 23 more districts to be operationalized in the phased manner until 2015. The creation of 23 more districts raises the number to 135 districts. But this move, according to economic policy analysts at Makerere University, is wrong and in any way does not solve the intended objective of service delivery.
It means that you're adding cost to the same budget, you see it, because you don't expect an increment, and yet our budget to GDP has stagnated between 12 and 13%.
The first two districts which will start 1st July this year, their money is in the budget. You can read the budget, the money is there. We have phased the creation of districts, 7 in every financial year, in 3 phases.
But what we need to do is to distinguish between categories of services. The ones that actually require a district establishment in order to be delivered, and the ones that can be delivered outside the district establishment.
Analysts believe that jobs may be created only to earn a salary every month, but no service will be delivered since most of the money will be catering for wages instead of non-wages meant for service delivery.
But why would you create jobs when the people you're recruiting have nothing to do? I'll give you an example of, if you looked at the health inspectors, if you looked at the agriculture extension workers and so on, if you went down to local governments and tried to investigate if they have facilities that would enable them actually deliver the service they ought to, it's not there.
Creating districts means every district must have a hospital, a police station, government schools, health centers, district leaders, for instance, the LC5 chairman, the council, RDCs and their deputies, who are all paid a salary
causing an extra impact on the public expenditure instead of real service delivery.
I was up country a week ago, and everybody is telling me there are no drugs in the hospital. You see, and you are saying, as you split more districts, you are extending services. But even the original district health centers or the hospitals are still not well facilitated.
If this is about rewarding other objectives, so be it. But now let's discuss a different modality of offering the other services as well, so that the district will now have objectives that they do meet, but also we are meeting the other objectives in their own other domain.
Jingo Francis, NTV.
Next tonight, and hopes are fading for more than 100 people still missing after a Tanzanian ferry sank near Zanzibar's main island. At least 38 people are known to have died in the disaster and about 145 have been rescued. The boat had left the city of Dar es Salaam and mainland Tanzania on Wednesday with 290 people on board. Josephine Karunji reports.
There is little hope now of finding any more survivors for the MV Kalama that sank over 20 hours ago. Survivors say they fear some of the passengers became trapped in the vessel when it capsized in strong winds. Some complain that they had initially been told everything would be fine and were not shown how to put on life jackets. As the ferry went down, they jumped overboard, clinging to lifeboats that automatically inflated before being rescued by a passing tugboat. Ali Mohammed Shein, president of the semi-autonomous archipelago of Zanzibar, has declared 3 days of national mourning starting tomorrow.
Serikali ya Mapinduzi ya Zanzibar inatangaza siku 3 za maombolezi kuanzia kesho, na wasihi wananchi kuwa huu si wakati wa kutupiana lawama au kueneza habari zisizothibitishwa. Sote tushirikiane na kusimama pamoja katika tukio hili la msiba na maafa.
Hamza Kawalwe, the director of the Tanzania Meteorological Agency, told the BBC Swahili service that a warning had been issued for vessels not to make the crossing because of the rough seas. The rescue operation had to be abandoned on Wednesday evening because of bad weather. The route between Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar is a busy crossing, popular with both Tanzanians and foreign tourists.
Very unfortunate incident there in Tanzania. Well, here's some of what you can expect when NTV Tonight returns from this break.
Eking out a living, the plight of children in Abim trekking miles in search of work.
And on EcoTalk this week, saving the mahogany trees in Budongo Forest.
NTV Tonight returns after this break. See you shortly.
This is NTV.
Welcome back. We start with a reminder of our NTV poll question for tonight and some of your responses. Tonight we ask, do you support the new police guidelines on sports betting? I repeat, do you support the new police guidelines on sports betting?
Well, to have your say, text your yes or no answer to 8778 to include your name and where you are contributing from. Let's take a look at some of your responses so far.
And Charles Odengin and Tevez says, absolutely yes. Kids have been spoiled to the extent of misusing school fees because of quick gain. And he says riches are worked for and it's done through sweat, not gambling.
And Bonnie Tamale, you say betting initially had no laws or regulations governing it, and therefore police has done a very good job to come out and regulate its activities. Who would you report to if you were cheated before? That's why police has now come in.
All right, thank you for your responses. Please do keep them coming. The number is 8778.
Okay, and that stands our poll results so far. 75% of you seem to agree with the police and National Lottery Board on implementing the regulations they have set out for the sports betting industry in Uganda. 15% of you are saying no.
All right. Moving on, members of the Parliamentary Accounts Committee have grilled officials from the Ministry of Health over the misappropriation of 80 million shillings meant to carry out health-related activities.
The funds advanced to staff in the 2009-2010 financial year were allegedly squandered by 4 of the recipients without any recovery being made.
Chris Ochamringa reports.
You've mentioned that
Top Ministry of Health officials appeared before the Parliamentary Accounts Committee to answer queries of financial impropriety that were reportedly committed in the 2009-2010 financial year by its staff members. 4 Ministry of Health staff were allegedly advanced a sum of 80 million shillings to carry out health-related activities which they didn't do.
One to Dr. Kamba Baleke of 13.7. Afsa Lukwata 15.2, Isa Makumbi 20 million, and Tom Lutalo 80.8.
We cannot close our eyes on 80 million shillings. Never. We will not be doing our work. Chamba, we rub shoulders very well. Even on the budget days and State of National Address, when we are tossing glasses of wine out down there, we do it very well. But here it is a different matter. It's a different matter, please. Because it means that actually you people have not done anything at all.
The cases are among a series of anomalies highlighted by the Auditor General in a report that raises a range of accountability issues in the Health Ministry.
Well, because there was some challenge in financial management then, but we are improving. At least we are able to trace some people who took away the money, and then we are demanding for them to pay back.
The committee's chairman, Cassiano Wadri, demanded that the implicated officers be produced before the committee in the next hearing in order to get to the bottom of the scam. Uganda's health sector plays a critical role of delivering the much-needed healthcare services to millions of citizens who can't afford to buy medicine. But the sector's low funding, coupled with cases of corruption and poor accountability, have further crippled the delivery of services to the poor. Chris Ochamringa, NTV.
Now, the guns may have fallen silent in northern Uganda, but its impact continues to reverberate, especially on children. In Abim district, many children now find they have to fend for themselves, looking for just one meal a day. Its impact is also being felt in education, where finally they are unable to cope. Now, let's take a look at this and more stories making the news across Uganda tonight.
These children are going on about their daily routine that includes walking for up to 10 kilometers to villages in search of work. All the 7 children belong to one family and have left their sick and now weak mother at home to go look for what to do to earn a living. Led by the eldest, 12-year-old Ada Atim, they move with their hoes to cultivate and weed gardens of villagers who are sometimes too old to fend for themselves. Today they were lucky to find work, and for a fee they will clear the field for up to 8 hours before taking the long-hard journey back home. The plight of these children is similar to many others in the area who have suffered the devastation of war and miss out on school.
Elsewhere, police in Mitiana have arrested a 45-year-old man, Tuwaye Bulega, for allegedly defiling a 15-year-old girl, Rashida Nabukera. He was arrested at the home of Rashida's aunt, where he had gone to ask for the girl's hand in marriage. Bulega was taken to hospital for an HIV test which turned out positive. Police say he will face charges of defilement.
Inquiries were carried out and he was arrested on a tip-off from the father from Kampala, where he had gone to negotiate dowry with a certain auntie of the victim. And when he was taken for HIV test, he was found positive. And the file has been sanctioned. He will be appearing tomorrow in the court on charges of aggravated defilement.
Now, mahogany is one of the strongest tree species around, and it produces top quality timber, considered one of the best in the world. But this pricey tree is now facing extinction, and environmentalists are scrambling to forests like Budongo to try and save what is left of it. Maurice Ochoa reports in this week's Eco Talk.
Tracked 3 hours away to the northwest of Kampala, in Masindi lies one of Uganda's most important forests, Budongo. It's well known for its expansive tree cover and wild animals. With over 100 tree species in this forest, one type stands out, the mahogany species. Perhaps the oldest and hardest tree species in Eastern Central Africa region. It is this quality that is putting the mahogany on the verge of extinction, as many people chop it down for timber.
Interestingly, Budongo has got the highest concentration of mahogany trees in East Africa, and the oldest mahogany trees also found in Budongo particularly. One of the challenges is, as the forests are getting depleted in Uganda, the mahogany trees are being threatened at the same time.
Hearing that Budongo forest has the oldest tree in the whole of East Africa, people pick courage, wanting to see which type of tree is that. Is it still existing?
Yet for hundreds of years, mahogany had survived in Budongo because of an initiative by the Bunyoro Kingdom to preserve it, because it helped create a good traditional hunting ground.
And that's why we are seeing such a huge mahoganies still existing in this forest.
Further, I feel that other cultures too have long appreciated the importance of the mahogany.
If like they get you with a piece of mahogany today, you at least face the law.
Mahogany trees are very special for the environment. They're very special for timber, of course. But the other thing that we must also look at is that they're threatened.
Largely, we have not been planting it. Many private planters are now planting pine. These are softwoods. They mature in a shorter period of time to become wood or timber, but mahoganies take long.
Although human activity is blamed for the decline of the mahogany, animals have also contributed, felling young trees. With the massive depletion of the mahogany tree, members of the public are being urged by environmentalists hope to reserve this through promoting the replanting of this species.
So the planting of indigenous trees is something the government and NFA is now promoting. We have tree nurseries that are specifically for indigenous trees.
Many Ugandans have plenty of land out there in the village. Plant some mahogany tree for your grandchild One tree will take the grandchild.
A long way, replenishing a forest that is also facing the threat from communities clearing land for farming. Maurice Ochol, NTV, EcoTalk.
Well, it's time for NTV Business with Malcolm Mosime. Let's find out what he has in store for us tonight. Hello, Malcolm.
Thank you, Gabriel and Rachel. I'm all right. Civil Aviation Authority needs more money.
Okay.
We're finding out the details, and thank you for joining us on Business Night. And we'll be giving you details of why the Civil Aviation Authority needs more money. That is 60 billion shillings for Entebbe Airport. That and more is coming up in NTV Business Tonight. Don't go away.
And even if you did an investigation today and found out the districts which started emerging from perhaps 1992 up to today, I'll give you an example of Busia, an example of Palisa, you see it, which has been split further. Busia, Palisa has been split further. What have they achieved?
This is NTV. This is NTV.
NTV Business with Umeme.
You're welcome to NTV Business, Malcolm Musime. Now, against expectations of a revenue shortfall, Uganda Revenue Authority made a turnaround, wiping out its 66 billion shillings deficit in just 1 month to close the financial year with revenue supply, thanks especially to just one deal that took place in the telecom sector. Samuel Setumba reports.
After almost being written off as a financial year of revenue deficits for Uganda Revenue Authority, things turned around in just 1 month, wiping out the 66 billion shillings deficit to make a 39 billion shillings surplus. Their fortune lay in a key deal made in the telecom sector.
One of our telecom companies, MTN, sold its towers, these MTN towers, to another company, well, I think American Tower Corporation, giving a capital gains event of about 30 billion. We also saw very good performance of the medium taxpayers.
More than 50% of the revenue collected came from domestic taxes, with good performance in corporation tax and VAT, despite the slowed economic growth.
$1.17 billion has been earned out of exports into the region. So this partly, although we had depressed demand locally, the regional market helped to boost earnings from domestic production here.
After staring at a revenue shortfall of 66 billion shillings at the end of last financial year, the month of June alone more than shored up the tax body into surplus. With the new 7.6 trillion shillings revenue target, efficiency and recovery of the economy is the hope that the URA will bank on to deliver this time round. Samuel Setumba, NTV Business.
Thank you, Sam. The shilling still holds its ground against the US dollar as the period of exchange rate stability persists for now, except for some regional currencies like the Kenya shilling, which have been displaying some strength against the local currency. More coming up in the Financial Market Report.
Financial Report
is brought to you by
URA, developing Uganda together.
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration using our new online module and get a new logbook. All newly imported vehicles will also be registered online using this new online module. Get out of the line and get online.
Finally, on NTV Business Night, contrary to what has been claimed in the past, Entebe's ground handling costs are the cheapest in the region, according to the Civil Aviation Authority. Now, according to David Mpango, the Deputy Managing Director of the Civil Aviation Authority, private sector complaints that costs at Entebbe were affecting bottom lines of businesses are not well founded, following a study that to that effect. Reynald John reports.
Entebbe International Airport has seen cumulative growth in passenger traffic alone, hitting 1.2 million last year. That supported a gross income of over 90 billion shillings. But repeated concerns from the private sector, particularly the Presidential Investor Roundtable, over high ground handling fees and expensive airport taxes is today being rejected by the Civil Aviation Authority.
In the region, we are on average, so it is not true that we are very expensive. And of course, you know that you as citizens expect, even the rest of the passengers, expect standard services.
David Mpango, the Deputy Managing Director, is instead arguing that with increasing entry of numerous large foreign airlines into the Ugandan market, causing pressure for expansion, that immediately needs over 100 acres of land in addition to 60 billion shillings in cash.
The expansion of the airport infrastructure, we are soon beginning on constructing a modern air cargo, expanding the runways, and many other aspects.
And separately, in its end-of-year financial report, the Uganda Revenue Authority appears to lend credence to the congestion building up at the country's only airport, warning that it's a growing passage for smuggling.
We are holding negotiations with government, civil aviation, and Ministry of Works. We would like to establish a full-fledged cargo center connected to the runway.
The need to improve on Entebbe's infrastructure is heightened by the fact that Uganda has been named winner of the 2012 Roots Africa Airport Marketing Award, following attraction of new reputable air operators in the year 2011. Reina Ogen, NTV Business.
Only fill the kettle with enough for 1 cup and store excess in flasks.
And that winds up NTV Business for tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll be getting back to Gabriel and Rachel for more news.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. Now we're joined by Joel Kamadi, who's here to bring us the latest in NTV Sport. Joel Kamadi.
Thank you very much. Now, 2 Premier League officials are in the country. I'll be telling you what they are up to in NTV Sport up next.
This is NTV.
Good evening, I am Joel Kamadi and welcome to NTV Sport. Now, Uganda's junior national football team, the Hippos, have a detailed account of their opponents, the Black Satellites of Ghana, ahead of their clash in the first leg of the Under-20 qualifiers in Kampala next weekend. The team is working out a strategy that will enable them overcome the former World Youth Championship winners.
Uganda Hippos are in advance plans to upset the 2009 FIFA Under-20 World Cup winners, the Black Satellites of Ghana, in the second round of the Africa Youth Qualifiers. The youngsters, however, had drills at Lugogo without defender Joseph Ochaya down with malaria, while Khalid Awuchu suffered a knock midway the session. This is Uganda's Under-20 national football team, the Hippos, undergoing training ahead of their game against the Black Satellites of Ghana on the 28th of this month. They are, however, taking note of their weaknesses and making comparisons with the strength of their opponents.
Okay, what I know about Ghana is that they are strong once they were champions, so we do respect them so much. So what we are planning for them is only one thing, to go and attack them, but consciously. We can't go all out and leave our defense open.
The final of the Under-20 Continental Championship will be played in Algeria next year. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Now, with about 2 days left for Team Uganda to depart for the Olympic Games to be held in London, Ganzi Mugula is confident he will be in sharp shape to finish in the medal bracket in the 50 meters freestyle race. He is sharpening his dive, gliding, and power.
The swimmer has confidence his team's hard work through the last 4 years has them in high spirits for results and returning home with medals from the games that ran from the 27th of July to the 12th of August. His best time stands at 20 seconds and 91 microseconds, which is 6 seconds and 31 microseconds off the best time swam in 50-meter freestyle. Leading 15 athletes to the Games is not a new challenge to Ganzi, who led Team Uganda to the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, India, where he got experience good enough to balance management with being a competitor. He is now concentrating in making better his time before his event on the 2nd of August.
Well, with my coach, we've been looking at some fine points. Fine points, for example, body position, how do we ride the water? Power, for example, power, how are we propelling ourselves through water? Diving, how are we using the dive to get advantage of? Yeah, so those are the main points that we're looking at, hoping that we shall cut off sometime.
The first batch of Team Uganda leaves Kampala for London this Sunday. Cynthia Asio, NTV Sport.
Now, Wow Salam from South Sudan have been ejected from this year's Sekafa Kagame Cup competition following today's 5-0 loss to Burundi's Atletico Football Club. In the other game of the day, Kenya's Tusker Football Club settled for a goalless draw against Mafunzo of Zanzibar. Sam Poza brings us the details of the day's matches from Dar es Salaam.
New Sekafa representatives Wow Salam have packed their bags out of this year's Kagame Cup in Tanzania after losing their third game against Atletico of Burundi. The South Sudanese, who lost their first game 7-0 to APR of Rwanda before losing 7-1 against defending champions Yanga, today lost their game to Atletico by 5-0. Divin Indaletese, Emily Nimnova and Kevin Indayensinga scored Atletico's goals. Wow Salam of South Sudan becomes the first team to see the exit of this year's Sekafa Kagame Cup here in Tanzania. They also go out as the team that has conceded the largest number of goals. But being first-timers, this was expected. And who knows, next time when they come back, they might be stronger contenders for the cup. For NTV Sport, here at the Tanzania National Stadium in Dar es Salaam, I'm Sam Poza.
Sam Poza in Dar es Salaam. Now, Rally fans are organizing themselves to fundraise for Ponciano Lwakataka to acquire a factory-made vehicle to match the challenge posed by international drivers during continental championships. This development follows Lwakataka's failure to defend the Pearl of Africa Rally title won by Mohamed Essa of Zambia.
Ponciano Lwakataka is rated highly in the current crop of drivers in Uganda for his pace, courage and outstanding skills in maneuvering corners. His return from retirement raised a lot of expectation, with many looking up to him to retain the Pearl of Africa title over the weekend. This, however, did not come to pass, as Mafu, as is known, was failed by his engine, and his fans are now in a drive to buy him a factory-made car to match the international challenge. Lwakataka is the only driver in Uganda who is very courageous, and we should look for money to buy him a car such that he can effectively represent us on the international stage.
We are looking at a Subaru N12. N12B, all Mitsubishi Evolution 9 or 10. The Evolution was around 110 euros.
Finally, in NTV Sport, a hugely successful international coach and referee development program run by the Premier League and the British Council, dubbed Premier Skills, today visited Jolly Primary School in Kawempe in a bid to assess the impact football is having on the local communities. Premier Skills is a collaborative project between the Premier League and the British Council, which uses football as a tool to help develop both community coaching and other skills. The project has been led by English Premier League tutor Owen Prosser and Johnny Garside, the community football coach from Everton Football Club.
It was last year when we got a grant from the British Council, so we got an idea of starting up such a project to help solve some of the problems in our communities.
Jointly organized by the British Council and the Premier League, the training comprised both theories on developing and delivering sport activities at community level, as well as practical sessions on the pitch. And today, the team visited Jolly Primary School in Kawempe to see what football was doing for the local community.
There's lots of similarities and lots of differences. The differences being that a lot of community developments face different social issues, whereas the commonalities and where the things are similar are whereby people just have a passion for football and people just want to play the game.
Well, I mean, looking at the guys here now playing on a surface such as the one that they're playing on, it will really prepare them well for if they ever play on a flat surface. And compare that to in England, where all we play on is flat pitches. Sometimes when we go and play on the grass on bumpy pitches, the first touch isn't as good as what it could be. Whereas when we look at the guys here, they'll be so far ahead in terms of their first touch and their control compared to players the same age back home in England.
And the Everton community coach gave his view on his team's chances in this year's English Premier League.
We have high hopes for this season, hopefully to finish in a European place, and I know our manager is very, very busy over the summer trying to acquire as many signings as possible.
And that winds up NTV Sport for tonight. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Gabriel and Rachel.
Thank you, Joe, for the sport. Let's now have a look at Friday's weather prospects.
Now, before we wind up tonight's newscast, let's quickly take you back to tonight's NTV poll. And we asked you, do you support the new police guidelines on sports betting?
Well, the final poll result is out tonight. 67% of our respondents do agree with the police's plans, while 33% of you say no.
Thank you so much for all your responses tonight. We'll quickly read out a few. We have Isaac in Iganga saying, yes, I'm happy for the first time police has started being objective. Let me hope it's not just me, I say. Thumbs up, Afande Kawesi.
Okay, Kalika Jonathan, you say no, because these companies exist legally and they contribute revenue to our country in form of tax. It should also be noted that the policies under which they operate are set by Parliament and police implements them. So setting the new guidelines is not police's duty.
And Taban Rashid in Koboko saying, yes, betting is being abused in Uganda by both the operators and the youth.
Okay, in Pamize, Robert Sebastian, you say these people make a living out of betting. They make wise calculations on how to make a profit in 90 minutes. It's better than cheating customers in shops to make the same profit in a week. So to those I see commenting that betting is a menace, they should eat their words, because they lack the in-depth knowledge of how this activity is properly done.
We do appreciate you taking part in tonight's NTV poll. And that concludes NTV Tonight. Gabriel will return later with NTV Late Night for a final look at the day's news, business and sport.
Well, but from all of us here on NTV Tonight, is thank you for watching. Please do stay tuned to NTV. We'll see you later.
This is NTV. This is NTV.
The mountain gorilla is considered endangered species, with only about 720 mountain gorillas left in the world. And these live within 4 national parks split into 2 regions: Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park, Mahinga Gorilla National Park in Uganda, Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda, and Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The gorilla is the largest of all living primates and has a robust build with long muscular arms, a massive chest, and broad hands and feet. It has longer and darker hair than other species, allowing it to live and travel at high altitudes where temperatures drop to below 0 degrees Celsius. The gorillas can be identified by nose prints unique to each individual. Male mountain gorillas stand up to an average height of 6 feet.